It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
It's time for the Riley and Ridge Show, presented by Jackson's on Bronco Nation News. The Riley and Ridge Show takes you into the locker room and the coach's office, giving you a unique perspective on Boise State football from two guys who know a thing or two about what it takes to win on the blue. Combined, they have nearly 3 decades of coaching experience, none of which came from Riley Smith. But he played for the Broncos and won 52 games and 2 Mountain West championships during his 6 years. Kent Riddle won 7 conference championships during his 13 years as an assistant coach at Boise State and has 29 years of coaching experience overall. The Riley and Ridge Show is presented by Jackson's, where 25 cents from each hot dog sold goes directly to the Horseshoe Collective to support Boise State student athletes. Visit a Treasure Valley Jackson's location today. Now, here's Riley Smith and Kent Riddle for another edition of the Riley and Ridge Show, presented by Jackson's on Bronco Nation News.
Good. Hey, welcome back to the Riley and Ridge Show, guys. We're fired up. Another episode sponsored by Jackson's, and we're expanding. We got 2 special guests, 2 former Broncos. We got a former Boise State tight end, Garrett Collingham, and this most special specialist, we got Quinn Skillen, former punter. He's very special.
That checks out. Yeah.
No doubt.
Also, emergency quarterback.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. I've never seen a man more panicked when he found out he was going to be the emergency quarterback.
Yeah, he was getting his arm loose real quick.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of QB experience at this table right now.
It's very lot.
Garrett Collingham.
Yeah.
I followed Garrett
Every
Collingham,
year's
former quarterback, went to tight end. I was like, he's doing all right. I'll try to just follow in his
Try to do
footsteps.
Man, I forgot about that.
It's
In all
wild.
seriousness, like good behind the scenes story. So you were kind of the 4th quarterback. Well, both of you guys were.
Yeah.
Some like you were a 5th-year senior.
Yeah.
But Quinn had to be, I can't remember when it was, but it was like, had to have like a playlist, like 3 or 4 plays you could run, right?
There's times in the season we were so thin. It's like, dude, Quinn, you might have to be quarterback.
Yeah, that would.
I remember that.
That would have went south. If we got there at any point, that would have not been good. Definitely should have had it.
I know. I had the same thing in the Wyoming game when everybody was out and they got me on. I was like, my shoulder's torn. I'm not going to throw any footballs. I'm just going to look down.
Dude, that's how I was when I started playing tight end. I told Rudy, he's like, do you think you could throw this on these trick plays? I was like, dude, my shoulder, I was like, I could probably throw 10 yards. Either that or my shoulder's coming out.
Yeah, the worst thing too is when I officially kind of went in the tight end room and I would still like warm up and throw to the tight ends.
Yeah.
And if I threw a bad ball, all hell broke loose, especially with Stoney. If I didn't throw him a perfect ball, because he only had a catch radius
Stoney
right
had his
in here.
neck, he had his neck
Yeah.
brace on, so he couldn't look over his head. He could hold his arms like this high because his shoulders were so messed up.
So that is
Miserable.
one thing, like as a tight end, like you kind of need, because
Oh.
everybody
Yeah.
had shoulder harnesses on.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Stoney
like,
had his
why
neck
don't they
brace
throw
on
him the
those
ball
rim
more?
Yes.
Like, well,
Dude.
I mean,
Especially pregame. If Stoney had to make any type of play on the ball, he was letting me have it after. It was miserable.
Well, the one trick play that the 1 week, Stoney, he got the week he got his neck brace on. We decided to put a trick play in. The 1 week he got his neck brace on, and he was so pissed.
yes.
And then I had to end up taking it.
Catching
because
it.
he couldn't look over his shoulder.
Here we are trying to get Stoney.
We tried to get Stoney the ball the one time.
Come on.
Oh,
And
Which
you don't have to
we're
eventually,
gonna blame that on-
eventually we'll
Shout
get
out.
Stoney on here.
Yeah.
Eventually we'll get Stoney on here
Get him on.
because
The
that
flat
might be the
master.
best guest of all time.
he might be.
We're
He
gonna
might
blame
be.
that one on you guys though.
Yeah.
The 1 week he gets his neck brace on. You guys want to give him the ball, and he can't even.
Oh,
he
yeah.
can't even look up.
What do we got from Jackson's here?
We got
We got a whole goodie
the
bag.
sponsors just showed up with a
Yeah,
little
what do we have
Jackson's
Get that
bag.
water over there.
What is this?
Everybody, make sure you get down to Jackson's. Game week now. Make sure you support it. Next week,
Yeah, dude,
we fully expect to get a med sack. So we're doing 91-cent drinks on Monday. We're hoping to get Breezy a touchdown. So we're doing the Breezy bundle.
I'm trying to.
$1 soda and a hot dog.
Yeah.
Can't beat that.
Are these?
Garrett loves hot dogs.
No, get in there. Like, yeah.
Garrett loves a good glizzy.
We got
He'll be there.
Glizzy at the turn. Can't beat those.
Can't beat him.
Thanks to John Jackson, Corey
Oh,
Jackson, Todd Michael, the whole crew for getting us. We got Jackson socks. We got
Go snacking.
all that. Come down.
I'm gonna get my
if
water
anybody
in
makes it in here, we'll give some of this away. We got our loyal followers here. We'll make sure we hook them up.
No doubt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
we got
busted open.
playing
You got it.
cards. See who signs this.
They Rappy's actually pretty nice.
Yeah,
Probably before the show goes off the rails with other stuff.
Team specific trading cards. Here we go.
Let's see if we got anybody signed. Oh,
Oh.
we got an Ashton Genty first
It's not even signed.
first one
though.
off the deck.
These guys sign these?
Oh,
or
we
what?
got a tight end right here. We got Matt Wagner.
These even
Oh, nice.
CDS, baby. I'm keeping that one.
Some of them are.
Oh.
It's like a Breezy
Classic.
Newbar.
Classic
card.
Lyle Smith.
Lyle Smith. Dude. Gotta have that.
Jonah, not
See.
signed, but I'm sure you can find
Do
all
they
these
sign-
guys.
do they
Austin
sign somebody?
Terry.
Yeah,
Austin
there's like
Bolt.
a couple guys sign them, and then those are the
Coach D.
special ones.
Dude, I heard Austin Bolt has like I heard he's a cheat code on the new NCAA game.
Is it?
Probably is. I would just have him run deep and just
Yeah.
throw it up to
I
him.
heard he was actually like his speed is like 98 or something.
Really?
I
I
haven't
have,
played it, but yeah.
I have seen
He's our
a
boy.
little bit
Deep
or maybe heard that Austin's looking really good, and I would expect big things from him.
I'm excited to see him. I mean, he can go up and grab the ball.
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah, this will be a fun year for Austin.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit.
Yeah,
of,
is he our stretch the field boy? Is that what it is?
I think we have multiple
Dude,
stretch
yeah.
field guys.
Our receiver room this year is
Yeah,
nuts.
What's up with them? I heard they're
Yeah.
pretty. I heard they're pretty.
We got Latrell Caples, who he tore his Achilles last year, so he didn't get to play.
He's
But
ready.
he's legit.
Nice.
He's legit, and he's wearing number 3 too, so he's gonna score a lot more touchdowns in that number than I did. But
Who's wearing 5 now? That's the question.
oh, it's who is wearing 5 now? Static was wearing it for a while. Chris Marshall, yeah. So that'll be a good one.
Yeah, but I think Austin, Prince Strong, Latrell Caples.
Whatever
You know,
happened to Austin becoming a tight end there? I remember we were recruiting him, and we were
That
like, "Dude,
was-
you're going to take
Austin
that
did
after-
not gain weight very well, and
He played
I know,
almost
that's
every
right.
position.
I know, that's
but
right.
okay, I will tell you an interesting recruiting story. Harson and I were talking way back, and it was like, hey, look, this guy's like a legit player. He's certainly the best player in the area.
What was he playing in high school? What position?
Everything.
Played some quarterback.
He played,
Yeah.
he played
I
everything.
mean, but
So just
safety,
just like these
quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way. If you're
How
quarterback,
Often, how often the people that you recruit play like all 3 ways in high school?
Casey Klein did.
More than you think. I mean, like not everybody, but not
They go down
nobody.
there and kick off or no?
Yeah.
Because
I didn't.
Yeah,
I
I
did.
mean-
That's how I tore my shoulder out. That was great.
Damn.
But Austin was like clearly the best player in the area.
Yeah.
And
Where you at? Where'd you from?
Bora High
Bora
School.
Oh, okay.
And so it was like, hey, we just need to figure out how to get this guy on our team. And we kind of think he's going to be a tight end, but he might be a safety, he might be a DN, and he's played all those positions. And honestly, I would say played him pretty well in like smaller, like he's not going to be a defensive end full time.
He was elite.
But
at
he
it,
was
though.
pass rusher.
Dude, they had him on the scout team playing defensive end, and the tight ends hated him,
And
especially
Why?
Kurt
What
Raftall.
Yeah.
move did he have? What
He
was
had
doing?
it, dude.
Hands
He
or
was
what?
doing like releases on us, and it was like he
Getting
was
right
like,
by you guys.
Yeah.
it was legit. He was
When even
blowing by
OJ,
me.
So his
like he
hands
would
were
go
good.
by
So
OJ.
his
he
hands
would-
were good from playing receiver.
Yeah, he was quick. You could, but he didn't own his gap at all. It was just free for all. He's going wherever he wants to go, but the amount of sacks he had, like it was.
Dude, I remember
legit.
doing that when we were
Curtis
at Sherwood.
Weaver.
I remember
Yeah.
doing that. If we were doing that against Kamalei, dude. If I did that
Yeah.
against Kamalei, Kamalei's just punching me in the head. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude,
Oh.
relax.
Oh yeah.
Relax.
The
Yeah.
Stoney stories about Compliment.
Oh gosh.
But so,
I
Kamalei's
wasn't
scary.
even there, dude.
Yeah.
I wasn't even there, and I was dying when that was.
but all those guys, like, not all those, but Austin and a lot of guys like him,
Yeah.
like they're just great players, and you need to have them.
Yeah.
And it might take a minute, and we kind of knew that. I don't think maybe all the listeners or whoever was ready for it to take a minute.
Right.
We have more Austin Bolt questions from guys like BJ, all the time. But we just kind of knew, like, hey, we're going to have to figure this out. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not sure
we're just
exactly
recruiting
where
the
it
kid,
goes.
and we'll see who he develops into.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that was.
And-
We were talking about
Just
that
an
earlier. It
ath-
was
just
a
an
confidence. It's a
And
confidence.
probably a dumb, bad example, but Garrett, you can attest as not being a specialist. Like, Quinn was one of the best athletes on the team. Like,
True.
if we
100%.
said, hey, Quinn, you got to play receiver,
Would've
or have
figured
we
it out.
brought you in? Have we brought you in as a freshman instead of a JC punter?
And basketball
Like
player.
he might have been a receiver,
Right.
but
Oh, for sure.
was kind of developed and all that stuff. And I just think that's sometimes when players come into the program as 17-year-old seniors, like,
Dude, you never
you
know
just
what they're
gotta
gonna do.
Mhm.
take a minute.
Well, I think
That's
the
what we were
benefit,
talking
the
about
benefit
earlier,
of it
too.
too, though, is they know the knowledge of the game, right?
Right.
I mean, the knowledge of
Absolutely.
the game is tenfold of some guy that's only been playing one position his whole life.
Yeah.
For
A
sure.
guy that's playing,
That's why it
all
makes
over the
sense.
field.
That's
He's
why it
gonna
makes-
he's gonna be his knowledge of the game is gonna
And
be.
hell,
It makes sense he can rush the passer when his hands are nice from playing
Yeah.
Well,
receiver all
and,
high school.
and Garrett
Yeah.
really
Hands are
went
good.
through the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Came as quarterback,
Know the game so well.
Exactly. I
kind
mean,
of
that's
played
what helped
receiver
me.
for a minute, played defense for a
Yeah.
while, came back to
Not
tight
that I
end.
knew what I was doing on defense, but
No,
I
but-
will say honestly, defense helped me my knowledge of the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that
So
High school kids play as many sports as possible. Play as many positions as possible. That's
but
what I think.
sometimes it just
yeah, it's staying real.
it
close
takes
to
a
this
minute
thing.
to figure that out and see what everybody's going to be good at. And honestly, it probably took us a little bit too long to figure out Garrett, because you're fourth and fifth year. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Holland, dude.
Awesome.
Holland.
Yeah.
I mean,
Colorado
State.
Great tight end.
I always
Yeah.
told Red, I was like, dude, I'm pissed off you never made me move to tight end sooner.
Yeah.
Perfect, dude.
Because what else? You played linebacker too, right? Or
Yeah,
edge
quarterback,
or
receiver.
outside
yeah.
backer.
Well, it goes back to the same thing,
Punter.
dude. At some
we had him at punter
at some point of the
so-
year, in one point of the year, because in high school, you did everything, right?
Right.
Kicker,
Yeah.
punter, quarterback. You're like, dude, I got to get on the field, so I'll do whatever.
right.
But at the end of the year at Boise State, it's like, dude, sometimes we're so thin. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, you get so thin. It's like Quinn playing quarterback.
Yeah.
You get so thin at some spots. I remember
Right.
Avalos came up to me. He's like, dude, we're so thin. You're gonna have to play edge this week because you're gonna be our second edge in the game. I was like, dude, I haven't played defense in my entire life, and you want me to go play edge?
Yeah.
I was like,
me playing
sure.
Quarterback.
Yeah.
I've never played quarterback ever. but you get
We
to
went into
point,
that
it's-
Hawaii game, and I was literally
Oh,
number
yeah.
2 going in the Hawaii game. I was like, dude, Gabe, don't get hurt.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I'll go in if I have to,
Please.
but this is my first time playing defense
Yeah.
ever in my life.
Well, it really is funny because there is a lot of that stuff behind the scenes
That a lot of people
never
don't.
see.
They
No,
don't.
see, they have no idea. dude.
No idea.
Yeah.
and
That's the
what's
funny
crazy,
part.
too. Yeah, it's like these kids are a lot of people. We were talking about this earlier. Confidence and just
Yeah,
coming into a program at 17, 18 years old.
yeah.
The expectation is crazy. You're
And
you're living on your own for the first time. You're at a new program. You don't know anybody. Confidence could be wavering. That's why confidence is so big.
Mm-hmm.
Got to give kids
It
some
is.
time to
You got to
develop.
build
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
up, and
We were
You all
talking
just
about
don't
that.
even know what
Yeah.
type of man they're going to develop into. They could never gain weight, and then all of a sudden you put
Yeah.
them into receiver or whatever it is.
well,
Right.
and Bolt's gained more weight since he's been a receiver than he
I-
was.
I was
As
the
a
same way.
tight
I
end.
couldn't put any weight on that. These dudes are force feeding me food.
Yeah.
But
You can't.
Shout out to Jackson's beef jerky.
Quinn can't get.
Still snacking,
you
bro.
still eat whatever you want. Don't
It's a
gain.
blessing now, but in
Yeah.
football it was a curse. Yo.
I remember the
Dudes
one
are
year
jacked.
you and Pitt came up to me like, dude, you gotta. It was the transition, I think, from receiver stud / tight end because I was still playing the stud because we were still a little thin. And Pitt comes up to me, he's like, dude, you need to gain like 25, 30 pounds this offseason. I was like, Pitt, there's no
shot. And the like lumberjack plates and
No
then force
shot.
feeding us food.
I was like, and then he's
Oh.
like, you have to. I was like, the weigh-ins, you
Yeah,
get in
the
trouble.
weigh-ins.
You get in trouble if you don't weigh a certain
People are
weight, right? I was
sneaking
like,
weights into
All
their
right, I
back
want
then, I
everybody.
didn't wanna- I
I was
didn't wanna
just gonna
get-
say,
I didn't
what's
wanna get in
everybody's
trouble.
best fake pit out weight story? Because I
Oh.
know
Oh,
everyone.
dude, I have one.
I'll give some backstory on it.
I got one for you.
To be honest.
So what we did was whatever day it was, sometimes it was Sundays, and we would have to come in and we would weigh ourselves.
Yeah, make weight.
And they had a specific weight that you had to hit. Some guys had to lose weight, some had to gain weight,
Yeah.
but most of the people were trying to gain weight.
Oh, yeah.
And if you didn't hit that weight when you stepped on the scale, you could not leave the facility and
Yeah,
go
oh, yeah.
home until you finally hit that weight.
I got 2 good stories for you. Pretty funny ones. One of them was, and it's D-Mac, but it's D-Mac and Pitt, was butting heads left and right. But D-Mac, I'm pretty sure it was D-Mac. He would come into the locker room early, or go into the locker room, walk out, go into the weight room, act like he's getting some food from the snack shack, but pick up like a 5-pound weight, go back to the locker room and stuff it in the back of his.
I'm pretty sure Pistone did this.
Pistone probably did that too. And then he'd walk out, weigh in, and then on his way in he'd rack the weight back up. The other one is Matt Locker.
Lose weight?
Weigh-ins are on Thursday, and this kid, we'd always go out to all you can eat sushi Tuesday or Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So you eat as much as you can, so you could weigh in as much as you could, so you're not in trouble by Pitt. You weigh fucking 1 pound less with Pitt, dude, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Yeah, you don't want to be in
chugging.
trouble. You don't want to be in trouble with Pitt.
Hammering.
Matt Locker would come in. He never weighed what he's supposed to. Never. That dude would come in. He was so scared to lie to Coach Pitt or anything with having weights or something in his pants or something. He would go in and get like 5 chocolate milks. He would weigh himself before he would go weigh in with Pringle. And they'd be like, shoot, dude, I'm like 2 pounds light right now. He would go into the bathroom and chug like 3 chocolate milks.
Oh yeah.
Go back, weigh in, pass weight, go back, puke it up.
Yeah.
I was like, Matt, what are you doing?
I remember seeing people like we would, as freshmen, Brandon Hawkins, we were on the same exact like weight schedule.
Yeah.
And we were walking back from the facility back to our dorm room, and he's just pulling trig in the middle of the street, just 10 chocolate milks in.
Oh yeah.
It was miserable.
Speaking of all you can eat sushi, funny story, just because you have to tell this.
You have to.
And since BJ had John Moltron on the show the other week, we were at Yotomo downtown, and me and John went down there, just us two. We're trying to gain. It was during the summer, so we had to go down and get some weight gain. And me and John go down, it's just us two for some reason. Usually it's like a group of 20 of us, and when we roll in there, the guy behind the counter does not like us. He's like, dude, these football guys are rolling in here. They're running us out of business.
Stealing
they're eating 20 rolls.
That's why they put
person.
the price up.
Yeah.
It's because of us, probably.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, me and John go in
They're
there.
still in business, so it's going okay.
Me and John go in there.
Expanded.
Yeah, me and John go in there. I order like 6 rolls. John orders 9 rolls off the start. 9 to yourself. And I was like, dude, this is not good. I get to like 5.
If you order too many and then you don't eat them, you have to pay, don't you?
You have to pay. Yeah, you got to pay.
You have to get three pieces left over.
So
Louis also.
I get to 5 rolls. And I'm like, John, I'm getting full. He's like, dude, don't talk to me like that. He's like, you're starting to put like bad vibes.
It's a mental game.
It's mental. He's like, now I'm starting to get full because he's blaming it on me. I was like, dude, sorry, I'm getting full, and you got 4 more rolls to go.
For sure.
This guy stuffed his mouth full of rolls, went to the bathroom, threw them in the toilet, flushed it down because he didn't want to pay the extra. He had like 2 rolls
We're gonna
left.
apologize to you, Tomo.
We're gonna get blacklisted.
Yeah, we're gonna get blacklisted. He starts shoving.
I'm sure they made plenty of money.
He starts
off the
shoving.
football
Yeah,
team.
he starts shoving pieces of sushi rolls into his pockets. Dude, I've never laughed so hard in my life. We're walking out of this place, and he's just dumping sushi rolls out of his pocket. Sauce on him and all. Like his pants were sauced up with sushi sauce.
But it was worth it though.
It was worth it
was
for
worth
sure.
it.
He passed
It's
away the
crazy.
next day.
I would love to ask Molchon, like, was there any sake involved in this?
Had to be.
Dude, to
don't
this
know,
day,
actually,
John
yeah.
Molchon will still blame me for that. He's like, dude, that was your fault because you were saying you were full and you made me full.
You can't.
Yeah, supposedly it's
You
my
gotta
fault.
eat it so fast that your mind doesn't tell your stomach you're full. That's the strategy.
I mean, I guess.
The moment it
Still
seeks
can't do
in,
it,
it's done.
Still can't do it.
You're done.
Still can't game it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Is it
All right,
good?
well, tell us what you guys have been up to, because you guys have been out of ball for a couple years, and you guys are doing successful big things within the Boise area. So, kind of break down what you guys have been going through.
Oh, like Quinn go. Quinn's got it.
I got a lot. I got a lot going.
Yeah,
on.
Entrepreneur.
Quinn's
Yeah.
all over the place. Entrepreneur, always trying to
I
start.
need
new
to.
stuff.
I need to probably stick within some rails pretty soon here. But no, I would say honestly, a lot of people talk about the transition from football into real life. Like I think that was a real thing
For sure.
because what Harson had real life Wednesdays or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I remember Winston's talk, and I remember a couple of, who is it? There was like the owner of the T-Sheets who actually came and talked to us as well. The transition after football was interesting, dude. It was definitely more significant than I thought, which was something to deal with. But yeah, no, right now I'm working at a solar company in sales, which is cool. I love those guys. Shout out to EGT Solar and Brian. Brian's he's a really, really good dude. And then, yeah, I ran the Boise Bike Bar, which is sweet.
Big time.
Yeah, so that's fun. Good little, like, dip my foot into entrepreneurship. Very inexpensive way to kind of hopefully get an MBA or something that is similar to that. And then I just bought a trolley bus, and I'm trying to convert that into, like, an ice cream and coffee shop. So we'll see. Hopefully you'll see that around Boise here pretty
Quinn's
soon.
a big entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Speaking of Quinn,
Oh,
did you two know about Quinn's freaking big thing he had going on in his life like a couple months ago? You hear about that? And his scar on his leg?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually did. Yeah.
I didn't
The
hear
guy's
that.
got the biggest scar on his leg in Boise history from St. Luke's. So pretty
Dang.
gnarly.
Yeah, I got a little sick for a while, had a infection in my leg, and then this dude right here is actually who was like, we didn't realize, at least for me, bro, I didn't realize how
Yeah.
close we were until he was super upset. He didn't know that I was in the hospital.
Quinn was,
He,
I was
like,
texting
left
Quinn. I was
work.
like, Quinn, where are you guys? Like, I was trying to hang out with him the next week, and he's like, dude, I'm in the hospital. He's like, I should be out by Wednesday though. Wednesday comes around, he's like, yeah, I'm on my 6th surgery. It's like, bro, you're not.
What do you want me to
getting-
do,
he's
bro?
like, you're not getting out. I go
What do
in
you want me
there.
to
I
text
go
you?
in there. The doctor
The
tells me.
same deal.
Yeah, the doctor tells me, he's like, yeah, he had sepsis. He almost died and lost his leg. I was like, dude, you were telling me it was no big deal.
What do you want me to text you, bro?
I
I'm
heard
not against fine.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
chill, dude. I'm
That's
on
exactly
chill.
what we.
Bro,
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
trying to hydrate up.
You were
and-
saying
Hey,
you were going to be out by Wednesday. You were saying
Hey,
like
I
a
might
month in
need
the
a little
hospital.
help.
Yeah.
Like you could have
True.
sent that out on Twitter. and
Hey, I
had
remember.
probably
Okay.
10,000 people show up.
So shout
Yeah.
out to both these guys, Coach Rid and Collingham. Also,
Nuts.
very, very good dudes. I remember Coach Rid, Sam Witt, first person in NCAA to test positive for COVID. I was living with Sam Winnie at the time. Twitter's blowing up because Sam tested positive for COVID. Coach Rid comes over, drops off a little care pack, we had nothing in our house. We had no Gatorade, we had no thermometer, anything.
Yeah.
He drops off
That
all
was
this care pack.
awesome. The NCAA took a little break at that point. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
No, that
helping
was
people
crazy.
out. Like you guys were locked up in your rooms. We left some stuff on the
Oh, yeah.
doorstep.
Yeah, for the fans and stuff who don't like get to interact with these guys all the time, they're great people, man. And I think that's why probably a lot of us stay in Boise too, man.
I
Like,
agree.
Everybody is
The support is crazy.
Yeah, the sport is crazy, and just to have like, it does. Everybody talks about it as a brotherhood, but it
Mhm.
really does become that too. And
For sure.
It
yeah,
really
some of
does.
them
And,
are-
and
yeah,
it's really
it's
cool
wild.
to have like we probably don't see as much as of you guys as we would like to. My wife's
Yeah.
over there somewhere, and like I mean, she loves you guys, and we got to ride up to a wedding this summer, like
that was super
spend a
fun,
little
yeah.
time together.
Definitely.
And
And also-
just like when we get a chance to catch up and
Yeah.
spend some time together.
Absolutely.
And like that goes to Coach D too. I think that's.
Absolutely.
I think that's why.
Yeah,
like,
you
if
were
you're
on
thinking-
the Epic San Diego.
You were
trip,
on that
right?
drive,
Dude,
right?
You were on. I forgot about that.
That was
That was
insane.
huge.
Coach D what was Coach D at that point? That was 2018. What was he doing?
I think he
He
was still a
was
GA for us.
GA doing
Yeah.
what? Do you remember?
That was my
2018.
first
What
year.
He was a
season?
stud G. No, that was when
I
he
think he was
first
the
started.
edge coach.
He was
First
the
year
edge
being
coach.
the edge coach. That was his first
Oh,
year being
yeah,
the
he
edge
was
coach.
coaching
Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah. He's coaching Sam.
Yeah. So for
Jabril.
any recruits that are thinking about coming to Boise State, if you're thinking about, I don't know if they're listening to this or not, but
Well, if you're
Yeah.
debating it, don't.
Yeah.
There's no
dude,
debate.
Coach D rented a car for us at the Dallas airport and drove us 18 hours home to get us home on like basically as soon as we can to Christmas to our families.
Right
And
after the bowl game got
Yeah, dude.
canceled.
We got
Great story though.
we got a
He
half
actually
cab
got
truck.
like he actually got like Coach D got like a 2-hour nap, right? In
Yeah.
the back of the
Who was driving then? That's scary.
oh,
I don't know if I can go in.
Dude, that was a packed car too.
but you guys had
Dude.
a whole crew of drivers
Half
and,
cab.
Yeah.
like
Half cab truck. It was me, Garrett Kern, David Moa, Shaq.
Will.
Yep. Who else?
Shaq's a small. Those are some big bodies.
Demi-
Big body. He's in
Shaq's
the
the
middle.
smallest guy. He's in the middle for sure.
Dimitri.
Oh, that's
Who else was in there? There was 6 of us. Me, yeah, because I sat in the middle front seat for like 6 hours until my ass went numb. I had to switch.
I will tell people like there were very few options.
There was none.
Oh,
I
it
remember
was
that.
in the airport for 3 days.
It was
Yeah, the
Christmas
game got
Day,
canceled.
right?
Hundreds
I
of
mean,
flights got. I mean, our flight got canceled too, and ended up having to drive back. But yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
that's the story.
And I will say, Quinn, I've tested out the bike bar. I've been a 2-time customer,
Same.
and it's legit. You
the
guys
bike
all
bar
have to
is
do it.
legit.
The bike bar, you
Locally
definitely got to do
owned
it.
bike bar.
Huge, especially
The
for the
Boise
games
bike
now.
bar.
We were just talking about trying to get the boys on the bike
Yeah.
bar for and then tailgate for one of the games.
got a
So any
night game?
fans
That's
do
look
we
it
have
up.
a do we have a TV?
That would
Like,
be
can you-
huge.
Can we watch a game?
One of the things I want to do is like a red zone Sunday.
Could
tour,
you imagine?
Which would be fun.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine
think we
having a
needed to
couple
do
TVs
that.
on there.
So if you pull that off, let us know. We'll
Yeah,
we'll,
That would
we'll
be
line it
huge.
up.
We can do that.
Birthday parties. We had a great birthday party for Billy Bowens on one. That
Are
was
we,
legit.
I think everybody here will be at the Oregon game, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all going.
No
We're
doubt.
all going.
Vegas game.
I'll be there.
Vegas, I'm out on. Hawaii,
I might
Hawaii
be at the
should be
Vegas
good.
game.
Shout out.
Stay
Shout out.
at
to
Circa.
Circa.
DJ wants everybody to stay at Circa.
Oh yeah.
Shout out,
I'll
Circa.
be there.
So I think he's got a
Are
little.
they
deal
giving us
on
some
his,
credit
yeah.
or what's going on?
Well, I think
there?
BJ's got a deal. Like,
There you go.
yeah.
That'll be
Uh,
awesome.
if you book it through them or use a code, whatever.
Yeah, no doubt.
But so
That'll be.
I
Sweet.
would highly recommend that. But yeah, look,
Yeah.
many Boise State fans can show up at as many games as possible.
We got exciting games this
That'll be
this
good
year.
for
We
the
did.
Broncos.
I mean,
excited
there's
to see how the boys.
there's
I'm excited to see how the boys do.
some very exciting games this year for Boise State football. I'm
I
excited.
think, yeah. That's what watching Boise State football is so fun, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I'm,
Literally so
I'm
fun.
stoked for football season. I mean, it's back.
Yes, I cannot
I know.
wait.
First
It's
weekend
fast.
back.
They
I was
just
just gonna
just did our
say,
bowl
so
game
go
too,
back to
so
your
I'm like,
player
this is
mind.
crazy for us.
Go back to your player mind a little bit. All three, yeah, Riley too. Like, it's game week. We're Tuesday, and all you guys experienced the cross country trip, so they'll be leaving on Thursday.
Yeah.
Which I talked to Dale Holsey earlier today. So the
Shout out, Dale.
equipment truck rolled out yesterday.
Mhm.
Shout out, Dale. Give me some more equipment.
Shout out, Dale Holsey.
Give me some shirts or hats or something.
Dale Holsey's the
You
only one that
stingy ass.
unifies. He's the only one
God.
that unifies the decades of Boise State.
So-
If you want to come to Boise State football, get to know
Dale
Dale.
said the drivers called them today. They were in Oklahoma. It's a 40-hour drive. So those guys knock it out
What?
consecutively.
Holy
There's
cow.
two drivers.
Oh, they're just banging out. One of them sleeps while the other
One of them
guys.
sleep. Yep. So they keep rolling. So they'll be there. Shoot, they might be there by tonight.
How many people do you think understand the logistics of playing that game?
None.
Nuts.
Oh, it's insane.
Let me explain.
Maybe. I mean, Joel Schneider might be listening.
Well, just
Yeah,
think
Joel
about-
knows it better than
think about
anyone.
football right now. How many the conference realignment and how the
Yeah.
travel some of these teams are doing. Granted, I never thought the travel as a player was really that bad, but logistically behind it, you're thinking equipment wise, all your
Yeah.
But this is another thing.
Everything
I don't
else
think
involved
how
with
many
that?
how many people that watch college football have any idea how long it takes us to get to a game, prep the day before somewhere at a high school, bring all of our shit that we need for practice out there.
shout out
And then
Joel. Joel
finish-
killed it.
Joel killed it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And the new staff too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he's also
Absolutely.
crushing
Yeah,
them.
absolutely. Whoever's
also
Charlotte,
crushing
whoever-
them.
major,
Whoever's
like-
doing that job,
dude,
shout out.
he kills it.
Because
And like Keaton, remember
the
Keaton?
stuff-
He
yeah.
was in the EQ room,
Yeah,
and now he's
doing-
up there. He's killing it.
Dude,
And-
doing that job.
That's
I mean,
good.
that's
He probably knows everything.
gotta be-
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, they send people out like these games, like they're out there 2 days in advance, like making sure
getting everything
everything's
ready.
set
Yeah.
perfect. Because if
Yeah, I
there's
didn't
any
see- I
hiccup,
didn't see
like
Keaton around today, so he
Yeah.
might
He's
be
probably
there.
yeah, he's
But
down there.
I didn't see
What were you
Charlotte
gonna say?
either.
What are you going to say about player mindset?
Well, just like, okay, so today was Tuesday. You've been through this week already, kind of. It's bonus week.
how long
or
ago
however
did
you
camp
wanna look
end?
at it.
How many
2 weeks.
last week.
2 weeks ago, yeah. Last
Or
week,
10
yeah.
days. 10
Yeah,
days.
about-
But,
yeah.
So those
they've
guys,
been in like game schedule for 10 days.
They had that
2 weeks.
you have
Oh,
a
okay,
bonus
okay,
week
okay.
of like prep, like you're
Yeah.
gonna play a game,
so
and then
tomorrow will be like Wednesday practice, but they've already done Wednesday. They've already done Tuesday. Yeah, and they're planning on hitting they'll do their Thursday practice and then hit
get out of
the
there.
road.
In the plane.
So,
And
but I was going to say, let me go back to that because I want to finish on the equipment guys. Like, so the equipment guys, the truck left, 2 drivers.
Yeah.
They should make it there sometime tonight, probably 25,000 pounds on the truck.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Insane,
How about that?
dude.
How about that?
It's crazy.
Now
What?
this year,
That's crazy.
well, this year they
Didn't know
they
that.
added a little weight because they've got the new iPads.
Oh yeah, all
So
the
you gotta have a
communication
whole
stuff.
rack
Yeah.
to-
Are
Yeah.
they doing?
to-
Do you know if Boise State's doing that new helmet communication?
Yeah.
Yep.
Might as well, right? That's
Yeah. Well, and
What is it? So the coaches
mean,
have radios directly.
They can
into
talk
it.
to
It's like
you can
NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got one on the defensive end too.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Two
Yeah.
groups wearing it.
Yep.
I was like, I wouldn't want to mess up a play and then just get.
Which is
Green.
really bad, right?
It's recorded back to the audio. You heard what I said,
Here's
right?
the thing where
No,
I think
it's like,
like
well,
Boise
I
State has a huge advantage. Dirk for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
done it.
They'll
You know, he's
if you
done
throw the
that.
ball
He
before
probably
the play
knows
starts.
when to get after a guy a little bit and when
Yeah.
like okay,
Let
like,
it go.
yeah.
As a
Go on
coach,
in.
how
Next
as
play.
a coach, how much do you think that changes when you can get into someone's ear like that?
I think when you have a guy like Dirk watching from upstairs, I think that's a pretty freaking good advantage.
Do you think they
But how
use
many teams have
Shenanigans-
that? I'm assuming most teams have that now, yeah.
Not a guy like with that kind of experience.
Do you
But
think-
I'm saying the technology.
Oh, the technology, everybody will have.
everybody
Everybody,
will have
absolutely.
you think
Yeah.
certain teams are going to try and use that? Say, you know, you got your fast tempo offense,
Yep.
right? Get on the ball. You got to coach up
For
on
sure.
up in the box, right? And I think it's 15 seconds. They turn that thing off.
Yep.
You think that coach is gonna be like, hey, they're playing this cover defense. This is
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm gonna do. Here's the check. You
For
think
the
sure.
coach is making
they
audible.
have
But,
to, right?
but I think the advantage Boise State has, and I don't think a lot of people have actually talked about this. Like Chenander's been on that, he's lived that life too.
yeah.
Like he's been on the Eagles with Chip Kelly
Yeah.
so he knows the deal. Like, hey, we're not going to show our hand every time. I mean, there's sometimes like that's what you're going to do, and you know, you don't know if they're going to stay in it, change it, like whatever. But he's been in that. He knows it. I think that's a huge opportunity for the Broncos.
That's cool. That fires me up.
Yeah, and defense too is pretty sick because I always thought it was just kind of quarterback, but you have it on the defensive side too. They
But
see
how
the
much easier
formation.
does that make that for players to coach instead of having 3 guys out there
Yeah.
signaling?
I mean,
You know,
I
how-
guess it's been
How
in the
many
NFL.
times,
I mean,
for a
how
little
many
bit.
times in a
Still, hold
game
up. You
do
still
we get
check
mixed up
something.
signals, right? Or we see the wrong signal?
Way
from
more than
someone,
it should
way
happen.
more than you think it should happen.
Yeah,
I can't.
Wait,
I mean, you can-
whoa, get into this. Who's messing this up? Just some random, just anybody on offense looking at the wrong guy.
No, I mean you as like an offense, you're gonna have two dummy
Well,
guys. Doing
Yeah, on the side.
I mean, just think
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
how gassed you are after running.
yeah.
yes, you just
You
don't
got a
even know
guy
what you're
running.
looking at.
You got a guy running a 70-yard
so.
go,
Hey.
coming back trying to read
I'm there.
a signal
Yeah.
from across the field.
Oh.
I mean,
You might, make
Yeah,
a couple up.
yeah.
I've read the
I never-
dummy signalers a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
and then you're like, oh,
I think
shit.
everybody's done it once or twice.
Gotta
There-
be.
there's always the wait, do it
Yeah.
again. You know,
Do it
kind of
again,
the
yeah.
realize
That's
of last
funny.
second.
I never
like,
even
I
thought
was-
about that. 'cause
Yeah.
I never looked at signal.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
I don't think it's ever hard at the start, right?
No.
It's always,
Granted, it's second
always-
nature when you get to a game because you've
Yeah.
done it so many times in practice
Right.
and fall camp. But you get it into a game. I mean, that's the last thing you're thinking about, right?
For
You're
sure.
you're thinking about other stuff like how am I going to beat a guy on a route? What's
Yeah.
what defense they're playing? Last thing you're thinking about us, and then all of a sudden you're like, shoot, what is that? You're way across the field. And you're
Yeah.
gassed out. You're like,
Oh.
quarterback,
You're
all
like,
wearing
oh,
the
Ironically,
yeah.
ironically, it's way better like for the quarterback just to yell it
For
Oh,
sure.
for
to
sure.
you
Yeah, like the other teams. not
than
doing
it
that.
is
Yeah.
because the guy up in the press box stealing signals
True.
can't hear
For
that.
sure.
Yeah.
All he sees is signals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
But you
been
guys
And you're on the
know-
defensive side. You're so tired. You're not listening
Yeah.
to that shit.
No.
You're just focused
Yeah,
on
you're
your
just
own thing
going.
anyways, dude.
but
And as you guys know, like we used to change like all our at the line signals
oh yeah,
way too often. Probably.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Weekly or what?
Yeah.
almost
Almost.
like we would have guys
It
go
was
back
every week
through,
you'd have to, yeah.
go back through and be like, hey, that was on TV. Like we're not using that one again.
Yeah.
Or we might
everybody's
use
learning
something
new shit every
as
week.
Way more than you think,
Yeah,
dude. There,
it was-
I mean, every
That's how it
week.
was in my
Yeah,
high school
every
team.
week
Quinn
you're
wants to
here,
know
yeah.
like
Right.
all
Crazy.
where was the ball getting snapped and where am I punting?
Yeah, but think of high school.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
Think
My
of
job
high
was
school
easy.
calls,
It's
dude.
great.
Think of high school calls, and then, I mean, it took me
No,
2
yeah.
years to get
The only thing,
Because there's people
so much. Dude.
there's people watching everything and
Yeah.
you know, so as a you're not being thorough, good to your team, however you want to say it, like if you're not spending that time watching yourself and saying like, okay, hey, we did this when we signaled this, like
Right.
they should probably know that. If they don't,
So is that
whatever.
some
and,
shit that's-
and you're actually hoping like maybe they did, because we actually
planned
use some
for it or
signals
something,
that like, hey, we're going to do this, but we're doing that and go off of it.
So is this some shit that you guys are talking about on like your coaches meetings then?
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Dude, there's so much more stuff that goes.
That's what
into
I'm
it.
saying.
You
Like,
have your
I
you have
don't-
your
I didn't
regular
even-
calls, and then like all of a sudden you'll be gassed out. You have your
Well, you guys
kills
are
to
getting,
switch
like, 2
plays.
calls, yeah.
You have 2 plays per. You got 2
Checks.
calls per play or more.
So you're
Plus,
going like priority 1, and then you'll kill it to the second one.
Yeah.
or plus,
Depending
say
on
you
what
get
look
a
you get.
say you get a big play, right?
Mhm.
You have the other 6 plays you have to know, 3 to 6 plays you have to know that
Memorize.
right off the bat.
One words.
Because once you're gassed and we have the defense on it's like go. We're doing these
Yeah.
6 plays in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying, all right, you guys got a big chunk of yardage,
Right.
And all of a sudden, from there, you're like going to preset list.
You're going
Yeah.
to like a preset list, like, hey, say it's like, hey,
Yeah, we
code
had
blue, code blue.
memorized
It's like, yeah,
three
code
memorized.
blue. I'm not gonna
That's
give it
not
out. I'm
for
not gonna,
defense.
I'm not gonna give it out. But it's like, hey, say
Yeah.
theoretically, they say,
Yeah.
hey, code blue. Code blue is, hey, you have 6 plays in a row,
That's hype. See,
and you better.
see, this
even-
is crazy stuff.
and
I didn't
you're
even know
going
what was
to
going
go
on.
hash and
yeah, hash and where you're
and-
at, and it's like, dude, hey, code blue, you got 6 plays in a row. I know you're gassed, but guess what? You're staying in for another 6 plays in a row.
And the worst was the one word plays, because like
Yeah.
say like we would have some funny ones,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was like, all right, you knew that play is this
What you
formation, this is
do,
the
yeah.
play, and then we would change the one word, same exact word, but it'd be a different play.
Oh yeah.
And then
The
you'd be
next
like,
week,
after
yeah.
a couple hits to the head during the game,
Yeah.
you're like, oh shit, is this the same
goes
one from
back-
week 1 or
Yeah,
which one is
it?
this?
What week are we in?
And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was like
No
you
wonder
had to
class
be
was tough,
dialed.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But it was like
Memorize
that
the
amount of
entire
studying,
play.
like for those you don't know, like when we get to the hotel the day before the game, it's like
It's
straight walkthroughs.
Oh,
And when
yeah.
you're not walking through, you're in your hotel room and like your position group comes over and you do another like play checklist and you're just going through it
oh yeah.
pretty much up until game time. So it's like you're so locked in because you know how the game gets. You're getting hit, you're tired, but it's like at the end of the day, that has to be second nature for you. So you can go out.
that's probably a
run it.
good thing. So like on one of these long games where they travel, so Thursday morning would be practice and then quick lunch, get on the plane, more food, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
always fun on the plane.
Always.
You got
Chick-fil-A,
to
But
gotta-
then
you got
piss
to
your pants every day.
food in the bus, food on the plane.
Always got to pee.
Yeah.
So
but
hydrated.
that's probably something to take everybody through. Like what what's that? I think if not, we'll hit it later, but what's the 48-hour pregame look like?
What is it? Show up to a walkthrough. You put your special
Yeah.
walkthrough clothes on. You go to
Oh,
your
you
you go
get
to
outfits. We
yeah,
have more
yeah, you go
outfits
to
for
your
everything.
locker. You grab your special
So go
walkthrough
from even
clothes.
Wednesday night. I mean, like what you guys are doing.
Right. Wednesday
That's
night
good.
was
Wednesday,
probably
I mean-
a 6 to 9 class. Try to stay awake during class.
Yeah, I mean, and then
if
you're
you have
going-
a dog. If you had a shitty day at practice,
You're
not
going
thinking
back-
about class. You're
I mean,
thinking
you're
about
going back to the
practice.
facility though and you're watching more film. If you,
Yeah.
I mean, there's such
I
a short.
wasn't, but
a
these
short
guys
time.
probably are.
Yeah, you specialists, you just had to kick a ball. But
Still,
there's such a short time from week to week, right? Where we got Sundays, you practice on Sunday and then you get Monday off. But you think about you
Sunday's
get
the
really
worst.
realistically like 3 to 4 days to prep for the next game. So you're going in to watch film as much as you can and learn from the week before.
yeah.
you
So
got
Wednesday
film-
night film.
You got Wednesday night.
Well, I guess if we're leaving for this trip, Wednesday
Yeah.
night film.
Wednesday night.
Thursday
film.
night would be our Friday walkthrough, so it'd be only
Well,
shorts.
No,
Right.
they're actually they'll do their Thursday practice here,
Yeah.
then fly out
Are they staying
which
out of
is
high school and running through their walkthrough
on
then?
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, so then fly out. You take your entire operation here, which
Yeah.
is an insane. The logistics are insane. You show up, you practice the next day at a high school somewhere locally, after going through meetings in some hotel room that apparently someone booked for you.
And you're not even. I mean, you don't. Some guys sleep on the plane. Some guys watch film. I mean,
right.
800 degrees. In
there
the
are
plane.
some guys. I mean, I remember Brett. I mean, he had his laptop out the whole plane ride.
The entire
The whole, and he's watching film the whole entire plane ride.
Yeah.
And
We're
you,
also
I mean,
on
you.
the charter plane. We're eating a ton
Yeah.
of food. They slam you with what was the salty water drink?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, those are
Bomb.
awful.
At
Dude,
first-
those are
They
terrible.
made
at
you take
first,
those.
at first I thought they
Terrible.
were bad. Then I
I
liked
liked
them.
them because you didn't cramp up.
Yeah.
The other thing that sucks too is the trainers. They gave you the salty drinks, and then they made you wear the
The
lace.
ions.
It didn't matter. I remember the Florida State game when we went down to Florida State.
Still got mine.
I remember the Florida State. We went down there so hot on the tarmac, and they're making us wear these Incrediwear. I mean, it's you're wearing basically sweats and a sweatshirt. You have to wear this dress code to get on the plane. Plus, so you're wearing sweats plus your leg sleeves for recovery to get on this plane. And we're sitting on the tarmac for like an hour.
Oh yeah.
And we're waiting to take off, and it's just hotter than shit. And everyone's taking their shirts off, pants. It's like, dude, we're sweating.
Oh,
but you had to do it. They
had to. You had.
I mean, shout out trainers, I love them, but dude, come on, you're making me wear Incrediwear. It's 100 degrees.
The entire. Let's start out with shout out to Garrett Collingham
for what?
For the Florida State game, recovering the ball.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I remember that.
On like the 2-yard line.
Shout out to Eric Sack.
And then celebrating at the bars and letting them know.
Funny story. Funny
That
story.
never happened.
That did never happen. Can I tell that story?
You can tell any story you want.
Anyways, at a Florida State game, because Hurricane, we're supposed to play at Jacksonville Jaguars Stadium. They moved that. They moved that to the Florida State Stadium, right? Because of the hurricane.
And we drove that bus.
We
through
drove the bus through the hurricane, basically, and we get obviously after the game, you know, we win. We're so hyped. But our flight's delayed.
Yeah,
because our charter flight technically
so again, you
it's
want to
in
talk about like an operation.
Yeah, get the plane in Tallahassee.
Book
in Tallahassee
for 100 rooms on like one day.
I think
we had like a 6 hour break in Tallahassee after a dub against FSU. And I don't know about you guys, but I mean, as a college guy, you know, you beat Florida State.
Come on.
You're trying to go out. We went up to me and Stoney went up to Red. Stone, that's why we got to get Stoney on here, because me and Stoney went up to Red, like, hey, Red,
partner,
you care if we there's a bar where the hotel we were at was literally a block away from Greek Row from Florida State.
Yeah.
And me and Stoney were like, dude, we have to go. We just beat these guys. And Red's like, yeah, just go. Just make sure you're back by this time. Like, bus is
yeah.
Me and Stern like, fuck. Yes.
Right now.
Dude,
let's go.
We're out of there. There's like 4 of us go down to this bar. We walk in. We couldn't change because we didn't have any rooms. We're still in our all blue sweatsuits.
I mean, you're not going to bring any other clothes. Why would you bring any other clothes?
We walk in there. Yeah. We walk in there.
Fucking your Boise State sweat.
I'll be honest, I do not remember this story, but I'm sure I was so fired up. I was like, sure, whatever.
Yeah. You guys, everyone was hyped.
No,
we show
don't
up.
matter. We'll still get practice Monday, whatever.
We show up to this bar in our sweatsuits. The bouncer goes, hey, I know you guys kicked our ass. Like, there might be some issues in here. Just let me know if you need anything. Honestly, pretty nice hospitality there.
Yeah, they're sick.
We go in there. The bartenders are feeding us shots. They're like, you guys kicked our ass. Here's a shot. We're like, fuck yeah. I'm not going to say no. Fucking 2 hours. It was probably an hour. Felt like
literally
3 hours.
First time I'm hearing.
Yeah. First time Red's hearing this, but this is probably one of the sickest stories of our career.
For sure.
We're in Tallahassee. Just beat Florida State.
Thank you, the Hurricanes.
We're in the bars. Dude, the bartenders are giving us free shots. Me and Stoney are living life. We're like, dude, we should have went to Florida State. Like, this is sick. Girls are coming up to us buying us drinks. Like, you guys kicked our ass. Like, you guys are from Idaho. You guys are sick. You guys are sick. You guys should come here. You guys just beat us. All of a sudden, 1 hour turns into 2. We're like, oh shit. Red's calling Stoney, like, where the fuck are you? Like, bus is about ready to leave. I mean, it's been 2 hours. We're pretty buzzed up at that point. Right? We're making our way back to and Red comes out. I never forget it. Red comes up to us. We get back to the hotel. Guys are getting ready to get on the bus. He goes, Stoney, calling him. He goes, get in the fucking bus. Don't say a fucking word. He's like, I smell the alcohol on you. Just go in the back. The whole ride to the airport, Stoney's acting a fool, dude. I don't know if you remember, like, Stoney had the whole bus cracking up, laughing.
We returned. We had the music blasting.
Even Harson was laughing.
He loved
it. Dude, he loved that shit. I mean, we just beat Florida State. There's nothing not to love about it. You know what I mean?
Oh, it was legit. We went to my boys' crib.
We got a good buzz on after the Florida State game, and then we slept all the way home.
It's
you get a dub, get a buzz, and you sleep all the way home.
That's how it should be every game.
I mean,
but I know we went like all of my
planes.
Yeah,
I never slept on a plane.
That trip I did sleep. I'm not gonna lie.
So I had all my boys, like, they were freshmen at Florida State because that was my freshman year, and it was nuts. It was like we pulled up and I got to see all my high school boys, which usually, like, when we're on a trip like that, it's like you see them real quick and they're gone.
You got to go, yeah.
So I brought, like,
having that extra time,
Garrett, all of them, and it was Dude, it was legit, but I had a different experience. We were walking in our blue suits and we were getting shit
You were
on,
getting shit
dude.
on?
They were yelling at us, but they couldn't say anything. We were chirping back. We won the game.
Dude,
I was like, I didn't do anything.
These guys, I'm not gonna lie, like the guys in the bar, all the people in the bar, they got nicer the drunker they got. They're like, dude, you guys kicked our ass. Our team sucks again.
Yeah.
Here's some shots.
Oh, it made me feel
I actually do feel like I remember telling Stoney, like, back of the fucking bus.
Yeah,
dude, we came up to you, and me and Stoney were acting a fool on the walk back. You're like, you guys smell like alcohol. Like, just make sure no one else smells you or sees you. And me and Stoney, you're like, get in the back of the bus. Me and Stoney sat in row 3. Yeah, we sat in row 3.
Oh, it was legit.
And everyone's dying laughing. Harson's laughing. Like, I'm pretty sure we thought everybody knew at the time. Might have been
probably did.
Probably did. But we didn't. It didn't matter. I mean,
if we lost, it would have
Florida
been a miserable.
It would have been a miserable.
It
It would have been a miserable 6 hours waiting for the flight.
Yeah, it would have been sitting in that
Totally different
hotel lobby or
I agree.
ballroom.
Head down.
That was one of the best.
That's what makes
experiences
college football
for sure.
special, though. Like, honestly, shit like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
being with the boys and making memories out of something
No
like
question.
that, like it was.
Yeah, I actually do think about
That's what builds teammates, honestly,
for
too.
sure.
Like,
Absolutely.
and those experiences
builds
and coaches,
relationships that go forever
coaches trusting
and-
people. Like it's actually a huge
I wouldn't trust
part of
Tony, so that was
success.
big on you, Rid. That was impressive.
He's a senior at that point. What do
Tony
you
was
want?
fine.
Yeah.
At the time. Tony, when you're a senior, bro, it's like, okay, I trust these guys.
Stoney. He earned his way there.
He did.
It was a long, it was a long way to get there.
Oh, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. He's not worried about showing
Neck
up
roll and all.
on
If he
Sunday.
If you
like,
can make it to
whatever,
the Sunday
bro.
practice, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But I would say the trip out there it's a lot. There's a lot going on. And then flying back home is not fun.
okay.
And then you also show up back home and your Sunday is
Yeah. I mean,
what I would say
Well,
is
so I was talking.
not ideal.
I was talking to
it's not
Dale
mine.
today. So those guys the same guys on the truck. They'll sleep, go to the game, whatever, get their hours right for trucking. But the minute that truck's loaded, they're headed back here,
Yeah.
and they'll probably be back here Monday
They need it for
afternoon
Tuesday.
sometime.
Cruising, dude.
I mean,
we
Drivers
never,
don't
yeah,
mess
because we
around, bro.
needed it back for
Yeah,
practice, right?
I
I mean,
mean,
you had a full practice Tuesday. I mean, you have a 40-hour trip Saturday night. I mean,
So
they
you
got to
talk
be
about
back.
guys-
All the equipment dudes are washing
Yeah.
everything, cleaning everything.
You talk
Yeah.
about guys
Crazy
behind the
logistics.
scenes and like the stuff you don't
unreal.
appreciate when you
Dude, what about the
when you
pad
just
weekends,
show up?
dude?
What about when we got back from San Diego State? What was it?
Oh,
2017.
7 in the morning.
Yeah, we was like,
Oh,
okay,
what
everybody.
happened there? I forgot about that.
You can't fly. No, you can't.
Couldn't fly out
outside.
of San
Yeah.
Diego, so we had
Yeah.
to drive.
You drive to like LA.
Ontario.
What
the
who
game didn't
schedules that?
start
Let's
until,
schedule.
like,
Let's schedule a college football game,
Well, they
but
don't
not
care,
let
bro.
these
They don't
guys
care.
fly out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care. But
Yeah.
remember that. But think about how much we were annoyed, and we got back at like 7 a.m. and practice on Sunday was like, okay, be here at 2 p.m. We're like, we just literally just got, what the fuck is this? And then those dudes still had to wash. We went to the facility, dropped everything off.
Yeah.
All the homies
They probably worked
washed
all night,
everything.
yeah.
They were probably up until
Well,
9.
you guys,
10 a.m.
I don't even know if you guys knew this, but Dale used to. I think he's got some help now and whatever, but he used to sleep in the office like
Why would you
Saturday
not?
night,
I'm not
Sunday
driving home.
night.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, he
Yeah, I'm
has
bringing it-
a
at that
great
point, I'm bringing
setup
it.
too. He's got the lazy boy.
Yeah.
He had that all dialed up. But
Yeah,
it was
no, it's
crazy.
crazy.
The UCF game, and you guys
Big
weren't
road
there.
games are crazy, man.
But we had another hurricane where the game was supposed to be at 8:30, got pushed back. We started at like 11 and we finished at like 3 a.m. And so we're flying back.
Hank in class.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it was
in
a
the locker
Thursday
room.
night game. Hank's in class, which hindsight wasn't great.
I remember
uniform,
that, dude. That
full
was all over.
That was all over
over
uniform.
social media, dude. That was
He
so
definitely
funny.
should have got extra credit for that. But we had
That was at halftime, was it not?
it was before the
No,
game. We
pregame,
were waiting
because we
for
were
the
delayed.
lightning delay. But
So
and it was
Hank
a
was like,
Thursday
"Hey,
game. So
you
people
know,
were
when
not
you
class.
Remember
class.
those screenshots?
Dude, what?
Shout out to
I
Hank
do
Buck.
remember that.
Hank
Shout
Buck,
out
bro.
Hank, but like that's the last thing on my mind.
That's
is joining
right.
a
He loved
Also,
it.
is that not also the most hate thing
That's
to
the
do,
most
though?
Hank thing to do. He
Like
loved
he's
that.
like, hey man, I got class. I'm gonna log on real quick.
Sure.
And it was
Shout out to
miserable.
Out of
Hank, dude.
anybody on the
Hilarious.
team, I would expect nothing else from him
Oh.
to do that.
But it sucked because it was a Thursday night game, and we get back at like 8 or 9 a.m. and we have class on Friday. So people are having to go to class. Yeah, right. But they were a little
Hey, just
lenient
so you
on
guys
it.
know,
But it was
that was one of those things that
miserable.
was threatened. Never would have happened.
Yeah.
Like, nobody was checking class.
No, it was
except for the guys
hey,
that six.
we were
except
trying to
for the
be good
guys that
students, you
didn't
know?
travel.
right
Absolutely.
for sure. No, they really didn't. But it was like,
Yeah, there's
man,
no
I have to go
GA
to
showing up
class
to
right
class
now.
checks that day.
For sure.
Well, the guys that didn't travel might have got class.
Yeah. This is a funny comment. We got some questions coming in, but
Yeah, what do we got here?
Kellen for Mayor 11. That's a great name. But it said, with the dynamic of this group, how do the tight ends ever get anything done in the meeting?
Oh, come on.
Hey, we were dialed.
Time to
were
work,
dialed.
time
We were
to play.
dialed.
Time to work.
It was time
That's
to work.
exactly right. Ready to hit. I mean, we knew when to have fun and when it was time to get to work, right? I mean, I
that's
think
the best
not-
formula. That's
the best formula.
That's the best
BDS and Rid was the main guy. Rid was awesome. That's why he was the
Dude.
greatest coach. I mean, he knew when to have fun with us, but he also knew like, hey guys, time to get to work,
I
right?
know. I had to take a
But
big
we're-
reality check
yeah,
when
for
I
sure.
came from the QB room to the tight end
I
room.
remember
'cause-
that. Riley, you were so scared, and me and Stone were like, dude, fucking relax,
Dude,
dude.
because the QB room, we walk in
Yeah.
and they're already, Harson's in there already asking us questions. So I'm like taking notes, filling up my whole book,
Yeah.
and I get into the tight end room, and it was awesome because the first 15 minutes of like those meetings were
Yeah.
like Rid going through all the scores of the game. We're all
Yeah.
telling stories from the weekend and
Yeah.
throughout the week, and it was legit. It was like you could calm down, and then we jump into it.
Jump into it.
Just
No
playing
one
football,
knew when
Yeah,
to-
and it was fun. It was like we were
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
having
Part
a
of
really
that
good
was
time.
just the culture of the room,
18
right?
years
For
Having,
sure.
having great leaders and
And I think Rid,
knowing like you guys were going to do work on the side
Yeah.
too.
For sure.
Rid trusted us to.
Yeah.
You trusted us to.
Yeah.
You knew that we could have fun, but also trusted that we were going to do our job.
I was
like, if
asking to go to the
Coach Rid's
bathroom, and he's like, "Riley, what the hell are you doing? Just
Go.
get up and go."
Yeah.
It was
Riley's in
crazy.
the back waving his
I'm like-
hand. Me, Stoney, and John Bates are in the front. Like, dude, what in the fuck are
I'm
you
like,
doing?
you guys don't know. The Harson
Yeah.
room it's locked down,
Well, it was,
but it's a different
Absolutely.
position.
And
Like there's a lot.
Yeah,
more
you're
to
definitely
learn,
more
but-
dialed as a core. Yeah.
But the tight end room,
I
I
wouldn't
had
say
a
you're
lot
more
of
dialed.
fun.
But I would
No,
say-
was-
I
yeah.
would
More
say-
fun in the
I would
Way
say the
more
tight
fun.
ends could take you through almost every read, every
really
check,
could.
like whatever.
And that was something you implemented. It was like
Yeah.
you don't need to know just your route, but you need to know everybody's route because how you run your route is based off of what everybody else is doing.
Oh,
You
for
know,
sure.
you need to know how to manipulate the defense, knowing what your guys are doing. So that was a huge part, and that's why being a quarterback was
Yeah.
very helpful coming into that
But the-
role
and I think that transition from quarterback to tight end really does help.
for sure.
The blocking thing is like
Yeah.
that's a huge deal. And so
Were these good? Who's the better blocker between the two of them? You can be honest.
I was not a good blocker. I'll be honest. Throw me the ball though. If I can
All
get
right, all
it.
right, all right. Here's my question. Were you
Dude,
missing?
I played
were you missing
quarterback in high school.
Oh,
Were you
yeah.
missing blocks on purpose in practice to only
No.
take
No.
only take the pass route?
No, I mean I was doing the best I could, but dude, you got to realize
I
I
was
played
serious.
tight end realistically for 2 years, right?
No,
Yeah.
no, I just,
So I mean, I go into sophomore year, or sophomore.
Who was
going
the
into junior year.
who was the best blocker? John Bates.
John Bates?
John Bates.
That's why John Bates is playing for the Washington Commanders
Yes.
right now, right?
And one of the best
Also
blockers in the
6'8",
NFL.
Yeah.
and he is
He's a big man.
faster hurdler than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
How
was
about
What
how
the hell
about
is that?
all the Broncos that made rosters today?
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, who do we got?
huge
Who do we
deal.
got?
Yeah.
You know,
Uh,
PJ. You know who we got?
yeah.
Oh, Rid's
I'm-
Rid's
all the
dialed.
guys.
I might miss one, and
That's
if I
all right.
do, I
That's fine.
apologize. But I think John Bates, Jeremy McNichols,
Yep. Huge.
Really?
huge
Where's he
deal. Yep.
Washington
Commanders,
Commanders with John.
Big
Dog.
deal.
Big OJ.
OJ.
Come on.
I think J-Mac and OJ, like really battled to make that happen. And
Yeah.
we were joking earlier
No.
about OJ kind of
All
off
the time.
camera, but that guy's been there since the day they opened their facility to the Titans. I'm just guessing has not missed a day.
No,
and
there's
like
no way.
if you think that stuff doesn't matter,
No, it
but
does,
that's stuff
sure.
he
It
learned
does.
here.
Yeah.
And
Definitely
and
matter.
I mean,
So-
that matters in the long run when they're going to cuts and saying, hey, this guy cares and this guy doesn't. Right.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. And
At a certain
and
Right.
I don't want to diminish anything from their talent because obviously they wouldn't be at that level without
True.
that. But
Very true.
yeah,
Yeah.
Avery Williams.
is Avery?
Again, shocker that Avery made it coming
Yeah.
off. Of,
Is Avery still with the
that guy-
Falcons?
that guy's another guy.
Dude, the
probably
Falcons
lived
love
in the
Avery.
facility.
The Falcons love Avery, though. Who
That dude doesn't
love
leave.
Avery?
That dude doesn't leave the
I guarantee you,
facility.
Avery
He was the
brings
last one out of
energy to
everything.
that
No
whole
doubt.
team.
And
For
with
sure.
the
He's
new
the locker room
return
guy. Yeah.
rules and all that guy's
Yeah.
going to be.
Oh,
That's
Zed,
awesome.
Khalil.
Yeah.
Where's Seth at? He's still with the Dolphins.
You got
Same.
the other. You got the other old guys that are still
Khalil.
there.
Yeah.
DeMarcus
DeMarcus,
Lawrence, yeah.
for
Khalil.
sure.
Big time.
Khalil Juku.
Scott
Okay,
is
yep.
Scott still in there?
Scott, yeah.
Scott Chargers.
Scotty
JL,
JL,
too.
did he make the Broncos?
Broncos,
JL's
baby.
going to be a starter. It sounds like
JL's
the
been playing good, I've
Broncos.
heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alexander.
It's his
So,
first season with the Raiders, yeah.
I'm excited to see
Shout
Alex
out
with
to
the
Alex.
Raiders.
Shout
I
out
think
to Alex.
Alex with the
I
Raiders.
mean,
That's gonna
all those
Sam
guys.
Whitney, Sam
And
Whitney,
I
and
would,
Alex.
I would expect a few of these guys that maybe didn't make it on the. And Brett's the guy that comes to mind.
Did he
Like,
get
I'm
cut?
sure
He got caught
somebody
for-
will have him signed by tomorrow.
Yeah,
Brett's a
Whether
great
he's,
George,
whether he's
too.
active roster, practice squad,
I think,
but
yeah.
he's
Brett's
just
a
going to be
great backup
valuable.
QB, dude.
He's kind of on the coach probably plan a little bit,
Yeah.
for sure.
Uh,
For sure.
but somebody
Brett's
would be
dialed in.
dying to have him as their third guy, I'm sure.
And George too. George had a really
Yeah,
good.
wait, I saw a
preseason.
couple of George highlights. That
Yeah.
was posted on the
Yeah.
Instagram.
So he's going to be a guy that's
I
going to keep
didn't-
working and
Yeah,
get
George.
there for sure.
George is for sure
Practice squad.
practice squad. Although it wouldn't shock me if somebody picked up George on the active.
George Trelawney is probably one of the strongest people I've ever seen, and he was punting for a while.
Yeah.
He hit some
Dude,
rollout
tough dude.
bomb.
Yeah, rugby
Yeah.
punts. He was legit. Also, let's cut to a commercial. Yeah, let's take a quick break and cut to a commercial.
What other questions have we got? Yeah, we can't
Garrett broke
get
the
back.
seal, so he's.
Shout out to Hanu.
But we'll
Let's
be
go
right
to
back for
Hunting
you guys
sponsor.
and have a good commercial from our sponsors.
All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers. That includes the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer in the country to support an NIL collective. A portion of the proceeds from each sale of the Horseshoe Golden Ale go directly to Boise State student athletes via the Horseshoe Collective. Western Collective's beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, are available at most major retailers in Idaho. Western Collective, the studio sponsor at Bronco Nation News. Our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. For over 23 years, Row Painting has built a name synonymous with excellence in the painting and coatings industry. We serve a diverse portfolio of clients, including residential homeowners and homeowners associations, commercial businesses, general contractors, and industrial site purchasers. All of their clients receive the peace of mind that comes with expert project management, safe, skilled, and experienced painters, and professional-grade equipment. They provide a stress-free experience while solving your painting needs. They've completed more than 11,500 projects, including the back patio and garage in the Rains house, and they can do your project next. Our title sponsor, again, check them out online, roepaint.com. Give them a call, 208-991-0567. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics and the title sponsor of Bronco Nation News, roepaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union has been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. Don't have time to run to the branch to deposit your check? No problem. With Idaho Central Credit Union's mobile deposit feature in the mobile banking app, you can deposit your check anytime, anywhere. See why over 500,000 members love Idaho Central Credit Union. Again, that's 1 in 4 Idahoans. Make the switch today at iccu.com. Lithia Ford of Boise supports Boise State Athletics as the official car and truck of the Broncos and through NIL deals with Jonah Dalmas, Andrew Simpson, Ahmed Hassanin, and Matt Lauder. 4 Boise State football players rocking vehicles from Lithia Ford, as well as Paige Barsh from the volleyball team and Brooke Patterson from the women's golf team. The fall kickoff sale is going on today at Lithia Ford of Boise. Check them out online. View their full inventory of vehicles at lithiafordboise.com. For your next car or truck purchase, think Lithia Ford. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
We could ask them who they want on.
The Treasure Valley freestanding Taco Bell stores are hiring. Check out TacoBellWorks.com to apply for a job. Great promotional opportunities, free food while you work, half your wages the next day after your shift. If you're looking for a new job, think Taco Bell. SON Management Group and the Nicolason family and TacoBellWorks.com. Taco Bell serves up some of the best breakfast in the Valley. Try the breakfast sausage quesadilla, the breakfast California crunch wrap, the toasted breakfast sausage or bacon burrito, or the breakfast crunch wrap combo. Bronco Nation News thanks Taco Bell, the SON Management Group, and the Nicolason family for their support. Get more information on their impact on the community and apply for a job at TacoBellWorks.com. Check out the Blue and Orange store for all your Boise State gear. The blueandorangestore.com has great deals on the latest hats, jerseys, sweatshirts, jackets, bumper stickers, car flags, and more. Get the latest Ashton Genty Heisman shirts, the NIL gear, coaches' sideline apparel, and more. You have many options when it comes to buying your Boise State gear, but you won't find a better and bigger selection than the Blue and Orange Store. Thanks to Travis Hawks and company for their support. Return the favor and shop at the Blue and Orange Store and get ready for game day. Again, you can shop from anywhere online at theblueandorangestore.com or check them out the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall. The best way to start your day is at Jackson's. Step inside Jackson's food stores and discover convenience that goes beyond the pump. From fresh brewed coffee and delicious snacks to a wide selection of groceries and everyday essentials, we've got you covered. Jackson's supports Boise State through NIL deals for Ahmed Hassanin and Breezy Dubar. Don't forget, 25 cents from every hot dog purchased from a Treasure Valley Jackson store goes directly to the Horseshoe Collective. Snag that free banana when you buy a fountain drink, coffee, deli sandwich, or wrap. Find a location near you and sign up for Let's Go Rewards at jacksons.com. Check out Snake River Pool and Spa, Idaho's #1 local dealer for over 45 years. Whether it's a hot spring spa like the Rains family has, or a pool table, sauna, patio furniture, and more, check out Snake River Pool and Spa. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game are proud partner of Bronco Athletics, supporting the Broncos pools and spas. Check out thespateam.com for pricing, brochures, financing options, specials, and more. Whether it's a hot spring spa, a pool table, or an air hockey table for the game room, Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game has it all. The Rains family recently purchased our hot spring Limelight Flash Spa, and we couldn't be happier with the purchase. The installation process was easy, and the spa was up and running in no time. Check out their full inventory and turn your dream into a reality at thespateam.com.
Welcome back, guys. We little piss break, and now we're back at it. Ready to talk some more.
I was holding that. Our fans out here just handed out.
Yeah, we're handing out some
cards.
Oh, that's a big one. I got a good Ahmed one too. Yeah, here we go.
Hey, get in there.
This is our guy.
Hey.
Yeah.
What you want?
I'm gonna keep the BDS one. We got an Ahmed one for you.
Come on now.
Prime time.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Never know what might happen down here.
I know. You
Thanks
never
to
know.
Jackson's.
But yeah, you guys
think
ask
you'd
a
be
bunch of
working?
questions because you know the questions start turning into crazy stories. So start dropping some. We got another good one from Kellen, the mayor. It says, what was the time Coach Reed got the maddest?
I mean, yeah. I think I've never really seen Coach Reed get mad.
Yeah.
But it was definitely in fall camp with Stoney and Jake Knight. Yeah. I mean, you lost it.
You gotta have
I think
Stone
that's
on
because
here.
you repeated yourself about 6 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was probably it. There
Miss
were a lot
Red
of-
wants to
lot
know
of-
for sure.
A lot of F-bombs.
There was a lot of F-bombs. I think the hat was thrown on the ground.
Oh, yeah, that's when you know he's mad.
You know he's mad. We're kind of scared. That was like the first time everyone was scared to go to meetings that
yeah.
day.
There
I
were a
was-
few,
Yeah.
I was
few
telling
special
Red.
teams moments.
Oh,
for
special
sure.
teams for sure.
Oh,
got
special
you
teams
fired
for
up.
sure.
Nobody ever pays
yeah.
attention. to
No.
special teams.
No one ever does.
I had a good one. It was one of like the first times I was playing tight end, and they're signaling in the play, and this kind of goes back to like what we were talking about with reading the wrong signalers, and this was like the first time, and we're doing like 7 on, so it's like 4 plays back to back to back. So I just got done running a deep ball, and I sprint all the way back, look to the sideline, everyone's already lined up, and I read the wrong signal, and I'm like, I don't know which play this is because it's just bullshit. And so I'm like, all right, so I just run a random route, and Rid freaks out on me. And it was because the play name was Why Go Curl. Remember that play?
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, your route was in the name of the play, and you still messed it up. So he's freaking out on me. But I was like, dude, I was reading the wrong guy, and it looks stupid. I was like, I don't even want to go to meetings because I know they're just. That's probably the worst feeling.
You're gonna get. What was it? You got. What was the?
But
point system?
here's the.
You got like you got a 4 on that or a 1.
Where's the monkey?
I put it in the monkey.
Yeah, you.
I put probably
Can
$1
we
for
say
that
what
one.
it is? No,
Just
monkey.
just
Yeah,
the
it's just the monkey. Yeah, you put at least $5 in
At
for that
least,
one.
dude. I was like, no way.
What
I was a
happened
young
to
guy,
that guy?
too. I was like, it's
Well,
still there. They found it.
Oh, they
was
did
it,
find it.
was it
I
full
I
of
have not
money?
heard that.
No. So I went and I saw all the boys at the fair this weekend.
It's $1 million.
So we went to the
It
concert,
probably
and I was
was.
talking to like Austin Terry and Luke Voorhees and Matt, and we were like, I was like, where's this monkey? Like, we got to find him. And this is our piggy bank where if you had a mental error like that, you were throwing in quarters.
For
and
a
Stoney,
pizza party, yeah.
Stoney was the gatekeeper.
Stoney was throwing in 20.
Yeah. It was like Stoney had a whole entire list. If you messed up,
Yeah.
even if you did mess up, he was putting marks down for you.
Yeah,
And
he wanted you wanted more money on that because
For sure,
the tight ends
yeah.
are going to have a party.
for
You
sure.
know what I mean?
And so it was sick, but yeah, they
The
said
best part
yeah.
is we actually
Went
I,
through with
I,
it.
I will my wife will take credit for this, but
We did.
we actually did
Yeah.
we just left the monkey full.
for sure.
Yeah, we did.
And it was, but when they found it, they were like, "Oh, it was under the like projector
Was it still
box,
full or was it empty?
empty."
Oh,
So I think Coach Potter was out there. and
Oh, I don't know.
Nah, I don't know.
Potter knows about the monkey.
He
There's
does.
no way.
It's sacred.
Potter's
somebody
two
else
of
snuck in there.
yeah.
Yeah, but someone.
Potter's
snuck in
kind of
and found
a
it.
goody good guy. He ain't gonna steal
Yeah,
it.
nah.
Someone
Nah,
else was in
I
there.
love Pot. Shout out Coach Potter, dude.
Yeah, no question, no doubt.
But
guys
no,
did a
that was
freaking
hilarious
amazing job.
though.
Yeah,
That was so fun. I love Stoney because every time we would go in, start a fall camp, the whole meeting, he's not even listening. He's just like making sure
Right.
the board looks perfect.
oh yeah. He's writing
Well, the
everybody.
best part
He's
is
writing
that-
everybody's name
Spots.
perfectly on the whiteboard.
Oh,
The
yeah.
best part is because Stoney worked his way up from the back row to the front row.
Yeah.
He's like, I've got like $75 in that.
Yeah. He
Like,
knew.
I'm damn well getting
Yeah,
everybody
he
else.
knew
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. That was
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I forgot about the monkey.
What else?
Would you rather have a coach who emphasizes high school recruiting or transfer portal?
Oh, that's
Ooh,
interesting.
that's a
I'm
great-
actually
that is a
curious
great
about
question.
that. Yeah, wait.
Good
Yeah,
question, Jay.
I'm curious to see the mindset behind this.
I think you have to be aware of both. I really do. I think at a place like Boise State, it's going to be a much bigger deal to start with guys from high school.
Yep.
And not only develop them, but have them buy into the Boise State brotherhood.
Yeah.
And I think Ashton Genty's like the biggest example of that of all time.
How do you deal with the ego though of some kid who thinks he's better
Yeah.
than just let him go? Just
I don't
if
think
he doesn't get it, you just let him go.
And I think like
Because I
Malachi,
agree with you. Like I think that development is huge.
And you
Buying
got
the
to
program is
you got to
huge.
supplement with some other guys that you're going to have to pay some money for. But I think if anybody thinks like Ashton's here for the most money he could ever get,
false.
they're unbelievably naive.
False.
Dude, I remember speaking
He's
of
here for
money.
a
I remember
reason. He's
before
here for
even NIL came out. I remember when we were here and I think was it Drew Lock and the running back that went to Mizzou.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
they were getting offered before NIL.
Right.
They were getting offered like cash deals. They came here an official visit, committed to us, and then went to Mizzou,
Yeah.
and then they got offered cash under the table because they weren't going to get caught.
Right.
And flip their commitment right away.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's that is
to me, I would say the bulk of the Boise State roster is going to be built on guys that come here as freshmen and you develop
Yep,
and
I agree.
don't leave. And hey, maybe at some point they do leave. For
Those
their
are the
fifth
guys
year,
those
sixth
are the
year.
guys you'd rather coach, though, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, the guys that have
Because-
bought in,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah,
Well, you guys,
that makes
you
a
guys
team.
think about
Yeah.
this, and I only had Garrett. I guess I had you entirely, but as a special teams guy,
Yeah.
and Quinn for only 2 years, but you mostly for 2 years.
yeah,
Riley for like 4 years. I mean, I feel like we built something over time. It wasn't a 1 year transactional, like, hey, just do this, you'll be fine, go to
Yeah.
the NFL, you
Yeah.
can transfer, whatever.
No.
And I think I don't know. I hope we never lose that here at Boise. Well, let me rephrase that. I know Coach D has no
Yeah.
plan on ever losing that here.
no,
Like this is
I think that's what's super valuable too for kids
Yeah.
that are coming in. Is like
Yeah.
there's
And-
life.
and
There's
that's
a
the
life
only
hereafter
way-
because it's not.
that's
just
the only
football.
way we're gonna
crazy.
ever
Huge. It's
fight
crazy.
the
Like it's not gonna
just
make
pure
sense to
price
them, but-
tag.
Yeah.
I agree.
Is it's like, hey, I make enough money, I can say no to that. But the flip side is we can't be, as Boise State people, like we can't be head in the sand and think like, well, he'll stay here just for the relationships. I mean,
No,
it's a big deal. Like
Yeah,
25 grand versus $1 million,
Yeah.
like that's a big
Yeah,
deal.
no,
Like,
it's huge.
if you make it so that it's good enough, then okay. Like
Yeah,
we
done deal.
can figure it out. We
Yeah.
can work together. But so that's something like thanks to Jackson's, thanks to
huge.
Western Collective, row painting. You know, I mean, a lot of these people that are contributing, and there's other. You know, I mean, I wish I could think of all the people. Del Taco for sure. I'm sure I'm missing.
Yeah, it's
very major people, but
no, it's massive.
Like we need those people to step up and Mark Miller, Bob Miller, Albertsons. You know, I mean, like we need those people.
I mean,
like,
we have a good value
Ridley's.
proposition.
Almost miss them. I'm trying to think through everybody because I don't want to leave anybody out. But like
Jim Sturt, 4 game baby.
I mean, if all those people don't step up to make Boise State, like, are we ever going to be Georgia? Yeah, probably not. But can we make it good enough that everybody's like, hey, I'm having a great experience here. I don't want to change that and go somewhere else. I hope so. But we're going to need to add more people.
And I think a big part of it, especially for the guys that showed up late, we got Garrett Collingham, former Boise State tight end, and Quinn Skillen, former Boise State punter. Quinn made a good point earlier.
And receiver, backup quarterback.
And everything. But
I only ever punted the ball.
But like Quinn made a good point earlier, like as far as support when you're done at Boise State, like people are getting money while they're playing football and then they leave and never come back. Like Boise State, the support you get and like the money you're making after just for being a Boise State football player and building your brand out here and then taking that support that you built throughout the community while you're playing, it's tenfold than just going back somewhere else. And those colleges, they don't have that support system that we have to where we can go in the community and grow after football. Like they care about us to the core. So that was a huge
shout out
point.
to the coaches too. The coaches do a good job of
They
like.
do.
That's why I feel like I don't know. Bedell, I was golfing with Bedell maybe 8 months ago or something. He was like, you have to Boise State, you have to hire internally, like someone who's been here.
Nobody knows,
which is crazy. Like when I came out here, I didn't watch any college football growing up. Really, like I skated, I was surfing, I was outside doing things. And when I got to Boise State.
Beach volleyball, don't forget that.
Yeah, no, shout out to beach volleyball right now. It's my favorite hobby. If you want to play beach volleyball, I'll challenge all of you.
I'm in.
Both of you. He says he's nice too. I don't know if he is or not. Anyways, but Bedell was like, you got to hire internally. And it's funny because from his perspective, he's coached at multiple schools. And when he's like, you got to hire internally because this place is different, that's when you know it's like, that's the perspective you can trust.
Coming from
like
Bedell,
for me, like I have no idea.
Because Bedell's been all over, right? So he knows.
Yeah,
I mean, I was with you on that. Yeah, he's like, dude, nobody knows. He's like, Boise State's different. The culture at Boise State's different than
like how do we
Colorado.
Not lose that? Like just keep it internal. Like that's the thing.
And we talked
even
about
if they bring an external coach in, he better know the traditions.
And we talk about Coach D, like transfer portal. It's the same thing for coaches. Like Coach D throughout his career, especially after his defense coordinator there's schools trying to pull him away and paying him probably a lot more than he's getting here. And he's like, no, this is my home. This is my team.
He absolutely
and he's staying. So he's doing something similar to what Ashton was doing, where he's like, this is my home. And that's essentially
where you want to be. Yeah.
Why he's the guy right now. And that's why everyone wants to follow him, because they know
it has to, you have to have that. It's not like indoctrination. I mean, it's just, like, hey, I'm
a part of it, man.
I'm part of this. People are taking care of me. People care about me.
It takes a while. You can't just come here for 2 days and understand what it's like. No. You have to be in that building for 2 months.
You got to pay the price.
Yeah, right? You got to be in that building 2 months.
As dumb as that sounds.
No, it is.
That's why so many players come back and coach.
I thought I was gonna be out of here, dude. I was a JUCO from California. Got drug tested 6 times my first semester. It's like they're trying to kick me off the team. This is crazy.
Pitt was definitely trying to thin it out for sure.
And then once you're there and you like do your time, like everybody shows up for everybody. It's crazy. Like Winston talks about it a lot of times too. Coach Pete, Coach P was trying to tell those guys, you need to stay here. And they were like, what do you mean? We're 20, 21, 22. We don't want to stay in Boise, Idaho. Like, what is this? And then look at all of them now.
No, they're all
live
here.
They all raise their families here. It's crazy.
It is.
They're all successful.
I moved all my stuff back to Florida after the bowl game, and then I was like, I already miss Boise. Like, it's such a hard place to leave. Like, and you come back, and it's like, and it's cool because like I'd be back there, but like I'm with all my boys that like I played with, and I'm going to concerts and seeing G5 and his wife and having a great time, like catching up. And so like just all the people that stay out here, like it's awesome to be able to keep in touch with like the guys. Like that's been the biggest thing for me. Like we talk about the transition out of college football. You miss your boys, and when you're around them all the time, it's like it never left. So.
Well, even
not an easy transition at all.
As a joke, you bring up the concerts, but we were at who were we seeing? Can't remember the last
Tom Party.
Oh no, Luke Bryan,
and it's like run into DeLuna, Kala, Kamale. Or
everyone.
Kamale.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Kamale.
Sorry,
Kamale. People fly.
Kamale, Ellis Powers. Yeah, I mean
BJ.
BJ. Bedell. I mean, there's like
that's why you want to. That's why you want to work here. That's why you want to own business.
I mean, there's
here,
like
because you make money.
You roll around and you see like 50 guys that are like family to you.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's
they saw you every day.
Yeah.
Showered with you.
Like the amount of
they've seen you.
It's a lot weird.
Is it not true? Is it not true?
That was
Is it not true?
Straight to the weirdest one.
Is it not true? Like
you could just say we spent all 4 years together.
Worst, you see you at your worst days, your best days.
You're like you shower with them. That's your brother.
Every day.
But it is crazy because like even ESI, like where I work, there's so many guys within that company that like I'm calling for help or questions, and I know they got my back. So it's crazy how it just grows.
It's cool.
It's it really is a special place, and I think there's
you've been around too.
Places,
so like, what's your perspective?
Well,
I mean, you've been here for a while, but
and this is my home, and I'm partial.
But it's not like you haven't bounced around.
But I think there's a few places that are probably close.
Like what? Can you name a few? What would you think?
I would think Army, where I coached. Like those guys have something.
That would make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Special together. It seems to me that a place like Iowa has that. Like they win every year. And it's not pretty all the time or whatever, but they must have some.
The guys are bought in. Let's get the job done.
They must have some kind of
work their tails out. That's a blue collar.
Yeah, I think
blue collar, baby.
Orange blood. See it.
I think for a while Stanford probably did. It seems.
Yeah.
I think that's something kind of special. I think one of the weird things, because all you think of how good their players are, like I think Alabama has that.
Oh yeah,
true.
Like I think they have a little bit
of winning, dude.
Like hey, you do this. I think LSU probably has that.
Yeah.
And again, is it as pretty as you'd like, or whatever? But I think the big thing is they probably all understand standards.
Yeah.
Michigan, Ohio State,
middle. This is the bottom of our. This is all we
right. Like I even watched a video of like how Nick Saban made every player tuck his jersey in, and same at Georgia. But I was like, even that, like nobody wants to do that when they get to college, and when they're forced to do that, you're going through it together. That's like, even though it's a little thing, that's like a step to buy into that.
Seniors
culture
just like, dude, tuck your jersey.
Yeah,
like that's what we do here. And you're like, all right.
I just think
I'm doing it.
I think that's one of those things that like gets I don't know, overlooked. Like the tough times you guys went through to get to the great times.
Yeah, that's a huge part of having success.
And it's not
anybody that has
not
success.
Just trying to make you guys like have tough times. Like that's not the purpose of it.
No, yeah.
It was just like, hey,
you build the team's character off of that.
Yeah, we're all gonna try and do this the same. And
no, that's fair. That's
one of the cool things I always thought was kind of that I think it was in the spring, kind of had the goals meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And everybody agreed on it. And then at that point it was very simple, like, hey guys, like we already agreed on this. Like let's not debate something.
Yeah. And we would turn it in too. Like when we would have that stuff, it would be like, what do you guys think? And we would turn in our words and our code of conduct. And then so it was like not the coaches telling us what we need to do, but it was what we said. And so it's like, if you said it, you got to do it. And so I think that was big too, because you felt heard. And if you're going to make the standard, you better stick up to it. So
and there are always tough times, and that's when I think guys got separated from each other. Like, hey, are you willing to do this or not?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you just don't want those guys in your team though, or in your locker room.
Yeah.
Like those guys are cancers.
For sure.
Guys that don't buy in.
Yeah.
True.
And
Well,
when you see, and that's the other cool thing I thought about here too, is you see everyone buying in, grinding, like, and like, end of the day, like they've done the same work you have, and they're gonna have your back. I don't have to go check in on them, knowing that they're studying their playbook at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. It's like they just know their shit,
and that's big too.
I saw it all summer. Like, you hear it all summer
for sure. And they always talk about the guys that played before you. Like that's something big at Boise State. You guys always heard it. It was like these guys before you have set the standard. They've done it. Now it's your time to do it. And if you're not going to do it, then you're not living up to.
You're just not going to play.
Exactly. So it's like when I see Garrett doing it, when I come in, I'm like, all right, hell yeah, I'm buying in. I got to do it, or else I'm never going to see the field. But speaking of that, what was probably the hardest thing you guys done? Like summer workouts, 300s. What would you say was the hardest thing?
For me, if Red can attest to this, when fucking Pitt made me gain 30 fucking pounds in the spring. Do you remember the decks that year for me? Oh my! I think every time I ran decks, it wasn't even during decks. Like I killed decks. Like I thought I did good at decks. Like I was one of the top guys at decks. But every time once we were done, dude, the final one, hey, you're walking downstairs like,
shaking.
Dude, I was puking after every single one of them.
That was probably a learning experience for all of us. Like, like everybody's different. Like, that's why we probably never pressed Riley to get to.
Dude, remember
G5.
You remember
Appreciate
that?
it, G5.
Literally that one spring I gained like 30 pounds. I went from like 225 to like 245.
We probably did not do a great job of maximizing what you were really good at.
Yeah.
We probably needed to gain 15, but you know, we started looking at like the average tight end weight and started like what we need to get you here. And it's like, maybe it's not going to be like John Bates.
No. Yeah.
Worst thing.
Because Quinn killed everything.
Yeah. Quinn
was
natural
all that stuff.
Yeah.
So was there anything that you were like, man, this actually sucks?
I was definitely
the one time David Moa puked off the top deck, and I was walking. That was the one time I wasn't gonna puke. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I got 2 decks this time. All of a sudden, off the top deck, I'm on the bottom. David, explosive puke off the bottom. I'm like, chain reaction. Like 3 guys. After they saw it, I was like, "Smells so bad." I was like, It's the one time I thought I got away without puking. And
I got a good deck
off the
puke
top
story.
deck right in front of me.
Dude, because I was good at decks too, and it was similar. Like someone had thrown up. Yeah, if you're tall,
you got long legs, you're killing
it.
Nobody's ever dominated it like Quinn and Austin Bolt.
Oh yeah,
those are
Austin Bolt. Nice out there.
He is.
How tall is he?
6'5".
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
he's tall enough.
Yeah.
No,
he's tall enough.
He was good.
You were like a gazelle out there.
Yeah.
You just glided over those things.
The only thing when I was out here for my unofficial with Harson, I remember I literally met you at the front gates of the facility, and Harson pulled me over to the sideline, multiple. Sam Whitney thought I was a GA. I had a beard. He's like, "Yeah, are you gonna be our new GA?" I was like, "Dude, I'm here to kick. I'm
gonna be your kicker."
Yeah.
Right?
Harson pulled me aside. He goes, "Hey man, I know everybody always hits the weights super hard, but nobody ever hits cardio. Make sure when you get here, you can run."
Oh, you're
like, dude, I'm so weak. The gym is not my strong suit. Cardio is all me. The next month, I just ran every day basically and just worked out as much cardio as I could. And I showed up at camp. It was light. I was like, "Oh, this is easy."
Yeah.
Because I was so scared that Harson was like, "Nobody ever hits cardio." And I was like, "Oh,
you're gonna kill it." But
yeah, decks are.
I know. I almost threw up on Harson. That was. As a freshman, because how the coaches will run the stairs next to you, and so I'm on the very edge right next to the stairs, and we're deck 18, and I'm starting to feel it a little bit. And right before we go, how we all get ready, and then right when they blow the whistle, seconds before I blow the whistle, somebody next to me throws up, and I hear it, and I'm trying to hold it in because I know I'm a freshman. Hart's right next to me. I go to the right and just puke as they blow the whistle. So we go, and thankfully it didn't touch him. I probably wouldn't be here right now. But I was like, I'm never gonna puke again. I was freaking out, but it was similar to how was running decks for you guys? Because I know we come back and run decks after 4th of July weekend, and I remember.
Dude, I told Pitt this. I said I'll never forgive him. I texted Pitt one day. 2 years ago, Pitt texted me randomly.
Coach Pitt was our strength coach while we
randomly
played.
texted me and goes, happy 4th of July. And I go, this is random. I haven't talked to Pitt in like 2 fucking years.
Yeah.
I go, happy 4th of July, Pitt. I'm still never going to forget the day we had the 4th of July. It was on a Wednesday and you made us come run decks on a Thursday.
And was that when you guys did your trip?
Yep.
Yep. I remember that.
I don't know if you ever seen the picture Stoney posted. He goes hydrating for decks on the hydrating on the 4th for decks on the 5th.
No,
And
I
all-
have not seen that.
All of us are in McCall on the 4th on
Donnelly.
yeah, in Donnelly on the beach, hydrating for the 4th.
Shout out
I
to
can't
Donnelly.
even imagine.
Have you-
if I
From Donnelly, you're the greatest.
And yeah, we made it down. We came down for one day. You guys made us come down for one fucking day to run decks.
3 days.
And then the next day we go back up to we go back up to the cabin. I told Pitt, I was
Smart,
like,
though.
I'm
That's
never gonna
honestly
forgive you. I
that's
literally
kinda
texted
smart.
him that, never responded.
I remember talking to you. You're like, this is not going to be a good day for the boys.
No,
and
dude.
I remember looking to see, because I knew who
Yeah.
all went with you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to see how they
Yeah.
get through this.
I mean,
Because
we
I
got-
know they
No,
will.
you know
I've never been invited to the cabin.
Yeah.
You're always invited. Yeah. Next year,
That's
we're getting
crazy,
everybody
actually.
up there. The blob's
That's
gonna
crazy,
be going and everything.
I'm
But
in.
the worst part was,
Gotta come up. It's fun.
yeah, we had to come down for the decks on the 5th. Pitt made them at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Not at 5, like
102.
hottest time of the day.
Heat wave.
Heat
Yeah.
wave.
Decks,
I think
you
it was
go
like
to touch
100.
your
It was
hand.
like 102.
They're so hot.
102. Come back and do decks on the 5th after the 4th of July if you guys have been partying all week. We're going to give you Monday through Wednesday off. But you guys are going to come back just for Thursday. Oh, thanks, Pitt.
He loved it too. He
Yeah.
knew what he was doing.
I confronted him about that. I said, thanks for texting me back at John Moltron's wedding. So it was in the spring. I was like, thanks for texting me back about that. He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, I'm not texting you back. He goes, fuck you. Sick, Pitt.
What other questions you guys got, dude? Let me answer some questions.
Yeah, let's get some questions in here.
None of that.
Let me see.
Because we're
Yeah.
The Hank question. What was it? Coaches or Hank? Dude, I don't know. Hank was a 20-year-old kid, man. That's tough. What
Yeah.
were you doing when you were 20?
yeah. Hank was
Coaches, probably a mix of both.
for sure.
Hey, Hank's gonna have a
you never-
great year.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
and
you
Hank's
never
one of
know.
those guys. Like when he was here, like for all the hate he got, he was probably one of the hardest worker on the team. Like,
Dude, I'm not
Yeah.
going to lie. Hank, our senior year was a freshman playing for us at Florida State, right?
Freshman,
Yes.
bro. Freshman.
Freshman,
18
freshman.
years old.
18 freshman
Just
high
learning
school
the
playing
playbook.
Florida State.
and
Dude,
football.
I remember.
We trusted Hank. I mean, we're as a senior, we're like, fuck yeah, dude, we have a badass freshman coming in.
No
We're
doubt.
gonna fucking kick ass. And we thought that. We trusted him, and dude, he kicked ass.
Hank's biggest.
Hank came in early. He came in early. I remember because I was training for pro day. So I was in the locker room all the time, and he was in the locker room all the time. He grew up with what, 6 brothers and sisters or something?
Yeah.
First time he ever lived alone. Had no friends because he came in early. When you bring people in early, you realize that you don't move into the dorms with anyone. Like you're there by yourself.
Yeah.
You don't get to make friends
Hank's
because everyone
biggest
else.
problem
dude,
was
he was a
like
great kid.
too tough.
Yeah.
He
He
wanted,
wanted to
Yeah.
run and get
Oh,
hit.
well,
Like,
makes
dude,
sense.
get out.
Like,
Makes sense.
BYU
Yeah.
game, he's like, I think I'm concussed. I was like,
I
don't
think
tell me that.
A
'cause
lot
I'm
of the, I don't think a lot of the viewers know, but like, dude, Hank was putting his body on the line,
on the line.
and he didn't.
He
think-
lost his helmet.
and I
He would
think
hold
for
the
him,
ball
it was
to
a
the
respect
left.
thing.
Yeah.
It was a respect thing. After like the 2 or 3 games, like Hank, you got all of our respect. You just beat Florida State. You're killing it.
The old
Dude,
line,
don't fucking
the
run.
old line's like, hey, dude, throw the ball away.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
it. Like,
Remember when
we don't need you to hold in there till the
No.
last possible second.
remember when he tried to run for the touchdown and tried to hurdle you?
It's like, Hank, what are you doing, dude?
I'm like, hey, you are not a
I
runner.
love Hank. Bro.
Hank's the best, dude. Hank's one of my best friends, and like his
Yeah.
time here, he did a lot of special things. Obviously,
He
it didn't
did.
work out, and
He
he
did.
jumped
Like,
around. But
yeah.
he's such a good person. Besides a
He's a
football
great
player,
dude.
and he works
I
his
hope
ass
that
off.
guy,
Though
like,
I
think he will, and I hope he does.
Yeah.
Like, kill it at weight.
I agree. Hank's the man.
no doubt, dude. Such a good dude. Yeah,
Don't ask me.
This might be
Someone
like
else.
Kamala.
Dude, Kamale was a dog. Dude, that's what I'm saying. I don't.
Teams though.
No, dude. Honestly, the
I-
toughest guy we went against was against our own team. It wasn't even.
Sam Witt.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the
Kamale.
toughest guys we went against was against our own team. I mean, you had you had Kamale, you had Jabril, you had Sam Whitney, you had Gabe.
Jabril, yeah.
I mean, you had for us tight ends, you're going against the studs, right? And
Yeah.
we never.
Kurt,
That's what was
Dimitri.
good. That's what was good for the tight ends.
Dimitri.
Dimitri too.
You
That
guys
was good for
never-
the tight ends. We never went against anyone that was better than our studs.
I
With that
agree.
dude
One-on-one,
from,
though, what do you
Florida
guys-
State that was
Dude, the
like,
guy from Florida State,
looks
that
like
number 11, was he
6'8",
number
yeah.
11 or number 13? The dude was
Number
like
11.
6'8", and we're like, dude, this guy's bigger than shit. And we went to the game, and John Bates comes over. He's like, dude, this guy's fucking soft.
Yeah.
He's like, Jabril is fucking way better than this guy. This guy's
crazy.
playing at Florida State. So, yeah, I mean, we went against better guys in practice than we did against in the games.
I know.
Which is always the
Good.
goal.
Yeah.
It's
I
always
think
the goal, yeah.
that's the culture that everybody
for
has.
sure.
It's like
Yeah.
practice,
And-
we
and-
bring that shit.
Sam Witt certainly didn't look like the guy from Florida State.
No, dude, but
That his bull
dude,
rush
Sam-
was crazier.
I'll tell you what,
I
Sam
bet his
Witt,
bull rush
Sam
was
Witt
crazy.
didn't look like half the guys we get winning against, but I'll tell you what, he's the strongest fucking guy. that we went
Strongest dude
We
ever.
used to talk about that,
Yeah.
right? Like
He
in
beat
meetings, like,
San Diego
you better,
State by
you better,
himself,
you
didn't
guys better be ready for this period
Yeah.
because we're going 1-on-1 against Sam
Sam
Witt,
Witt.
Dimitri,
Yeah.
Jabril,
Yeah.
whoever. And it was like,
Dude,
You
I'm
guys better
gonna
have
be
it
honest.
ready.
I was more scared in practice to go against those guys than I was in the game.
On a weekly
Well,
basis.
I mean,
and in truth, like in a game, they actually don't know what the play is.
True.
Right. That's big time.
That is
too.
very true. They knew our
everybody.
That's
Everybody
bullshit.
set up practice.
Yeah.
I told this
You
story.
go, you line up against Jabril and Sam. He's like,
Oh.
I know you guys are fucking blocking me. You guys are running right at me.
Yeah. He's like
Sick,
9 cam
dude.
7. Let's get it. I remember I told this story on another podcast,
I
but it
hated
was
that
like,
shit.
remember the circuits we had to do where it was
Yeah.
pretty much like they were lined up and we would have to
Oh,
go and do
yeah.
different blocks. And it was like
Yeah.
one of my first weeks as tight end. And you were with me, and I lined up against Sam Witt, and I'm like, oh shit.
Dude, that's why I was so pissed off during
He was
our,
probably
team
stoked.
periods because
Dude,
we
he
couldn't
loved it.
we couldn't cut. They changed the rules.
we
You couldn't
couldn't
cut.
cut, yeah.
I was a tight end. Cutting's like for
Jake
us.
Rowe.
I mean,
I was watching
could
Jake
save
Rowe.
you,
I'm like, this looks
well,
awesome.
dude, we're
They can
tight
cut you.
ends.
They can sit, they can
Realistically,
submarine.
I would
Yeah.
say the average tight ends were like 6'4", 6'5", 230 to 250 these days.
Yeah.
More athletic, more want to run routes.
For sure.
Every once in a while you get the guys that are 260. You're not fucking going against dudes like that are studs that are
Yeah.
6'5",
Yeah.
260, 270.
100%.
So cutting for us was like, hey, let's go.
Let's
like
go.
that was my main
Especially
thing.
on
Like, hey,
rims.
we're cutting rim block. You're cutting. Practice like you guys can't cut. You guys are going against Kamale. You're going against Jabril. You're going against. I mean, same way. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, these guys, they know our fucking
Oh,
plays.
for
like,
sure.
I want to cut the shit out.
And
of
they're just tossing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
So,
I
game
always
time, so,
advocated, like,
game time comes, you just
tell
haven't
them
seen
we
the
can
cut.
and
Yeah.
we won't cut.
No, yeah.
So game time comes and you like haven't actually done a cut rep on that.
No, we did it. There's other practice drills that you do for cutting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hit
but
the
when you
bag,
did, like,
diving.
But in practice, you
big
you
deal
didn't have a
is-
live play where you actually cut the.
No, but the big deal is
there.
whether they knew you could cut them or not.
Exactly.
Is
It's like no, you
more
can't.
of
It's
a-
not at practice because we'll hurt on
they
the guy.
Right.
they play it a lot different.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if they're worried about like
That's
this guy's
what-
about to cut my legs out,
They're
like,
hesitant.
They're not gonna come at you,
they're-
bull rush the shit out of you like
Yeah.
our guys would, because
They're
they're
just
not
trying
gonna
to
you.
snatching you to
They're
the
gonna kind of
ground.
like stand back a little bit so you can either get into their chest or you could cut them in a game. But in practice, it's like, dude, these guys, they know we're not gonna cut, so they're gonna come right at you.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're coming
yeah.
right in your chest.
absolutely.
And they got their coach firing them up
Oh yeah.
right before they go out.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, here we go.
And you got
Oh,
fucking
it's-
Avalos in the background telling them to play. It's like, dude, shut the
Yeah.
dude. We know you know the play, all right?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Dimitri's hitting his helmet. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Over there whacking himself like
Going
Bobby
crazy.
Boucher.
I'm
Like,
like,
dude,
dude,
Bro,
literally.
you-
You get in the
Relax,
game,
dude.
so you get in the game and they don't know the plays. You're like, oh, I'm gonna cut the
Yeah.
shit. out of this guy.
the
Yeah.
funny thing was though, for the defense, it
You don't
translated. They knew the other team's plays. It's like, dude, how the fuck do you know their plays?
Like
too?
Kala?
Yeah.
Holy yeah.
Oh, college the best ever.
Yeah.
The
But
best.
Tell me
Shout
more.
out
Tell me more.
Kala. He might be on next week. But
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you
like
should.
that guy just he
TLK. If you need commercial real estate, go to Kickall.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out.
But he's just like he studies so much. Like guy knows every play.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Whether it's game, practice, whatever. Like he knows what's
Insane.
That dude was blessed by the football gods.
yeah.
Was.
Avery Williams fumbled a punt,
Same.
landed in his arm, and he just housed it.
But Avery's
it.
the same guy. Like
Avery
just
doesn't leave the
knows, like,
facility.
like-
Avery never left the facility. ever.
Slept there. It's the behind the
Dude,
scenes.
you remember that?
stuff
We would leave a game, and I remember his mom would be waiting out for forever, and I was like, Avery's not coming out for another like hour.
Yeah,
He
but
would
he
stay in
wasn't,
the shower for forever.
yeah, he wasn't watching film. The guy was just fucking dancing in the shower.
chilling, just chilling.
It's like, dude, get
But
out
he would also stay like anytime me and Joel went to punt. He was like, "Let me know whenever you guys go to punt. I'll just catch all of your balls."
Yeah.
And I was
He
like,
was down
"Great,
to-
dude.
yeah.
Sounds good."
Another guy that
No wonder he's so good at punt.
yeah, like
He's seen all. He's
and
seen all.
another like the new NFL rules pay off for him because
Yeah, exactly.
kickoffs more like punts. Like
Yeah.
Avery's going to be
A damn good.
all you
recruit.
guys fantasy guys like you should
Yeah,
probably
pick him up.
Yeah.
Shout out to the boy.
No doubt.
as your special teams guy.
Yeah. he caught so many punts too that he knew just about it more than like me and Joel. Same thing. It's crazy.
No doubt. But
that's why he's in the league
for sure. Awesome, boys. Well, we appreciate you guys joining us.
Absolutely.
I knew this was going to be the best one.
This is a
new record for sure. They're going to keep getting longer.
I think the next. I mean, you got to have us plus Bedell.
You got to get Stoney on here.
Got to get Stoney.
Well,
need to get Bates one day.
Bedell is definitely coming.
Yes. And I will be there as well.
Yes.
No doubt.
Well,
dude, I got so many stories with Bedell and Pistone. I remember at John Moltron's wedding. I think we stayed up to like 3 a.m. at the blackjack table, and we weren't even playing blackjack. We were supposed to be.
Well, rumor has it Bedell likes us. Split face cards.
They were doing some dumb shit at the blackjack table, but it's a good time. They came up though. But that was Rat's fault.
I did hear a story that this
Rat,
weekend
Bedell
was splitting face cards, and it pissed some guy off.
They were up though, and they were winning.
Well, and the guy like got pissed and wanted to fight Bedell, and then Bedell stood up, and the guy decided maybe that's not a great idea.
I should probably sit down.
Business decision.
Yeah. That might be the last.
Hope that guy's watching.
Awesome. Well, we
thanks for having me.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you to Jackson.
Yeah. Everybody can leave here with a tumbler. We got, whatever. Hey, we'll try and work on having giveaways.
Yeah.
In the future.
What does Jackson stop by, get a free banana,
next week?
We'll
actually have a game to talk about. So,
absolutely.
Broncos heading out Thursday. Game Saturday. Kind of fired up. Well, I think everybody's fired up. This can be a huge deal. And then obviously week 2, big deal against Oregon. But
I'll be there.
Georgia Southern, tough place to play.
I agree.
Yeah.
And but I know the Broncos are up to the test.
No doubt.
They'll be ready to roll. And I would fully expect them to show up and get after.
I'm ready for football season.
I know I'm fired up. Yes, sir. Well, appreciate you guys for watching. As always, just hit us up with questions, and we'll keep this show going. So, go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.